Okay, so BTS had another OT7 Weverse live stream on December 21st, 2025 at around 3:46 p.m. KST, which was a pleasant surprise because remember last time when they had a live stream at their practice studio, dance studio at HYBE, it was December 16th, and they said that they might do another live stream pretty soon, potentially on Christmas, right? Christmas Eve or Christmas, where they would they might suit up. So I thought, okay, they might do it sometime this week, this coming week. So when I saw my notification that we're live, I was like pretty excited. At the same time, so you are watching a video where I would do a full reaction while providing natural English translation with some context here and there as necessary. But this time will be more challenging than the last time where they only talk for 15 minutes. But this time they talk for more than 48 minutes. And there are a lot of instances where they talk over each other. As expected from BTS, which I just love it. But it's gonna be challenging, but I will do my best. And what else? It seems like they either borrowed a studio or they're using one of the studios within HYBE HQ. Because it sounds like there are HYBE or Big Hit staff members involved with interpreter. I think, yeah. So they said that there's a translator who's typing in like foreign language subtitles in real time, which means that it's more likely that this is a studio, one of the studios from HYBE building. If you watch other HYBE artists like entertainment content, you might recognize this room. So let me know. Speaking of the room, it's very much Christmas themed, Christmassy, lots of decorations, Christmas tree, and a lot of different food. I see fruits. To make observations like cherries, oranges, bananas, strawberry cake with like cherries on top, and sweet potatoes, and 붕어빵 and 호떡, which are something that J-Hope, Hobi is gonna notice right away. So 붕어빵 is a fish-shaped pastry stuffed with sweetened red bean paste. Hoseok is a type of filled pancake known as a popular street food in South Korea, filled with sweet stuff. And both of these are super popular during the winter time when it gets chillier. Okay, so even the snacks or the food is winter themed, including sweet potatoes. So here we are. What else before we begin? There's one more thing. Oh. As soon as they finished their live stream, in fact, while they were talking, the social media was going crazy. People were talking about different stuff in real time, and the energy went off the roof, and a lot of different conversations happening, both in positive ways and negative ways, as to be expected. And at this point, I'm just enjoying everything. Regardless of the types of conversations I see on social media. Why? I mean, it just proves that we are so back. You know what I'm saying? And once they have a official comeback, the conversations will only get louder and louder, which means we have to get ready ourselves, both physically and mentally. And I don't know, it just proves that we are alive, that we are so back, and just this energy level. It's just so love it. And also, it means that we haven't even, this is only the beginning. In fact, we haven't even begun yet. So let's be prepared. And for now, let's enjoy this live stream. So you're watching a HYBE BOY video where I do a full English translation while providing context with a full reaction. All right? So even before they do that official self-introduction, 둘, 셋, 안녕하세요, 방탄소년단입니다. Hello, we are BTS. Something happened. already. So it seems like Jimin, while he was about to light the candle for the cake, strawberry cake, he was using that match, but then he accidentally dropped it. So these guys were startled, especially JK and J-Hope. So JK and J-Hope was like, wait, what happened? What happened? While RM was like, 불난다, 불난다, it's on fire, it's on fire. And 괜찮아? Are you okay?
자, 둘, 셋, 박! 자, 안녕하세요.
And then now they do that. 둘, 셋, hello, we are BTS.
아직 못 들어오셨, 아직 안 떴는데. 아니, 떴어요.
떴어요. So yeah, a part of small portion of V's pants is burned. It sounds like. But then V says, 상관없어. 하나 더 사면 돼. Don't worry. I can buy another pair. 너 안 다쳤어? But are you hurt? Or you're not hurt? Jimin says, clearly concerned.
호떡 붕어빵 뭐야?
But it seems like V is okay.
호떡 붕어빵 뭐야?
Meanwhile, J-Hope notices 호떡 and 붕어빵. Again, 호떡 is this thing and 붕어빵 is this thing.
호떡 진짜 말도 안 돼. 여기 호떡 그냥 넥스트 챕터야 그냥.
RM says that 호떡 진짜 말도 안 돼. 호떡 is honestly insane. It's basically the next chapter, meaning trying to describe how good it is. And yeah, RM, I also love 호떡.
지민 뿌염 좀 해야겠다.
지민이 뿌염 좀 해야겠다. I think SUGA says that.
넥스트 챕터야 그냥. 지민 뿌염 좀 해야겠다.
Jimin, I think you should dye your hair, the root of your hair. So they are, if you notice, they're watching their iPad or the device. So they are watching themselves. So the monitoring feature, which means they can see themselves. And Yoongi noticed the hair color of Jimin. But Jimin says that this, I have already done it. I have already dyed the root of my hair. Why is it so dark? RM says. Jimin says, this is not black, the root of his hair. Meaning he dyed it in a different color. So it's not his natural hair color. Hobi says that 뿌리 남겨놓는 게 트렌드 아니야? Isn't it, isn't leaving your roots like that, the root of your hair like that, the trend these days? SUGA says, oh, is that the trend? Is that so? Jin says something. Yeah, so Jin acknowledges that it is a trend, and it sounds like RM has done a similar thing before.
Dirty blonde?
Dirty blonde? RM says.
Dirty blonde. 좀 약간 더러운 게 요새 넥스트다.
더러운 게 요새 넥스트다. So, like a dad joke or a wordplay. Something dirty is a trend or is the next chapter or the trend nowadays.
진짜요? 아닐걸?
여러분 잘
진짜요? JK ask. And RM, without missing a beat, says, 아닐걸? Maybe not. Probably not.
더러운 게 요새 넥스트다.
진짜요?
여러분
아닐걸?
잘 지내셨어요?
And it's just so, I don't know, so BTS. 여러분 잘 지내셨어요? How have you been? V ask.
근데 이렇게 멀면 목소리가 잘 들리나?
We are this far away, so can they hear us well? Referring to the audience.
조용해서 한번 들어볼까?
잘 들려요?
근데 이렇게 멀면 목소리가 잘 들리나? 잘 들리죠.
Jin says, 잘 들리죠? Yeah, they can hear you. They can hear us very clearly.
조용해서 한번 들어볼까?
잘 들려요?
And then RM goes, can you hear us? 잘 들려요? 안 들린대? Someone said they cannot hear them.
근데 이게 실시간으로 이게 번역이 되는구나.
실시간으로 이게 번역이 되는구나. Wow, this is getting translated in real time. So I'm just
여러분 새해 복 많이 받으세요. 근데
새해 복 많이 받으세요. Everyone happy new year. I was just gonna say, it's just funny how these guys are still amazed by the real time translation feature. Finds this new and fresh. You know what I'm saying?
진짜 벌써 연말이다. 야 근데 새해 복
It's an year end already, J-Hope says. 연말이다.
많이 받으세요. 조금 이르지 않니? 2주도 안
But Jin notices. But saying Happy New Year, isn't it too early?
남았어요. 아 근데 이제
2주도 안 남았어요. RM says there's not even 2 weeks left.
슬슬 이야기를 하긴 하지. 그래도
So it's about that time.
자, 일본어로
조금 이르지 않니? 2주도 안 남았어요. 아 근데 이제 슬슬 이야기를 하긴 하지. 그래도 1일인가?
21일인가? Today is December 21st.
자, 일본어로는 하나, 둘, 셋.
V, trying to get back to the theme of saying Happy New Year. So in Japanese, 하나, 둘, 1, 2, and then they're about to say.
아케마시테 오메데토 고자이마스. 중국어로 버리네.
Who was saying that?
하나, 둘, 셋.
아케마시테
So it's V, RM, and JK,
오메데토 고자이마스.
and Jimin.
중국어로
Jin joined in at last.
하나, 둘, 셋.
아케마시테 오메데토 고자이마스.
So it sounds like they are learning Japanese again, or they remember their Japanese.
중국어로 버리네.
하나, 둘, 셋.
In Chinese now.
新年快乐. 영어로는 Happy New Year.
So that wasn't in English.
그럼 스페인어로는
And Jacob says, now in Spanish,
새해 복 많이 받으러.
새해 복 많이 받으러. So RM was saying Happy New Year in Korean, but sounded like Spanish in a playful way, in a joking way.
한때
뭐. 잘했어요.
들린대요.
잘했어요. Well done, Jin says.
잘 들린다고 합니다.
Jimin was looking at the chat room, saying that people are saying they can hear as well.
그렇습니다.
이게 실시간 통역되는 게 이게 누군가 하고 있는 거야.
Meanwhile, SUGA is still amazed by the translation. So I'm wondering, who is there somebody translating in real time?
아니요. AI.
JK says nope. So it's AI?
에이, 그렇지 않아요.
아 이게
Isn't it so?
그 나도 궁금한 게 이게 실시간으로 누가 통역을 해주시는 건가? 아 근데
RM says that I was wondering the same thing. Is anybody translating in real time?
그러기엔 너무 빨라.
AI
But it's way too fast for a person, Jin says.
너무 빨라. 실시간으로 안 될 거야.
진짜 누가
So it's too fast to be a human doing it live. But then RM says,
아 근데 그러기엔 너무 빨라.
AI 거야.
너무 빨라. 실시간으로 안
yeah.
될 거야.
진짜
So RM was just now communicating with a staff member behind the camera. So he or she told them that it is indeed someone behind us. So they're saying that there's actually someone behind us or behind the room,
누가 저 뒤에
beyond the wall,
사람 있대요.
아 그래?
실시간으로 그럼 우리가 리모트
doing it in real time.
언제 키실 줄 알고 당직에 서시는구나 항상.
RM says that, how did they know that we were turning on live stream? Weverse live stream then? Oh, maybe they were on duty or something. They must be on standby. 당직.
우리가 이런 거는 이야기를 하고 키는 거니까. 당직?
But SUGA says that this type of live stream, we already told them in advance, meaning that's why they knew, and that's why they had a person translator ready.
와 진짜. 아니 근데 우리만 있는 게
진짜요? JK says, oh, for real?
우리만 있는 게 아니라.
당신가 어느 직업에는 많으니까.
Now, the reason why Jin and Jimin were just laughing now is because RM used that word 당직, which means, to be on duty or to be on standby, which is like a military word, like, how do I say? After you do work, so there's someone who has to take care of like an office. So for me, while I was doing that, military officer duty, while I was serving in the military, I have to do that 당직 thing, like once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, where I have to like stay at a place doing like computer work, make sure that nothing dangerous is going on my base, getting calls from different bases, to be on top of stuff. So that's what they're referring to. In this case, they're saying that, maybe that someone is always on duty or on standby in case somebody needs translation. But since these guys just finished their military service, that word 당직 sounds very familiar, which is why J-Hope noticed that.
우리만
이야기를 하고 키는 거니까.
당직? 와
당직? 와, 진짜.
아니 근데 우리만 있는 게 아니라 우리만 있는 게 아니라
당신가 어느 직업에는 많으니까.
Jin says that 당직, that exists in any type of careers, any jobs. So it's not military only terminology.
경직서 설명하세요.
V said, I didn't recognize what he says, but I think this is something that he would say while he was serving in the military, while being on standby. 전화하세요, or something like that, while calling someone or walkie-talkie someone.
있는 게 아니라
당신가 어느 직업에는 많으니까.
Yeah, walkie-talkie probably, or making an announcement through a speaker.
우리만 있는 게 아니라 우리만 있는 게 아니라
당신가 어느 직업에는 많으니까.
경직서 설명하세요.
Yeah, that sounds like an announcement to be made through a speaker system. Maybe I'm paying attention to like details too much. At this rate, this video is going to be longer than like 3 hours or something. Maybe I should like tone down a bit. All right, I will control myself. Or whatever. I just love doing this, so we'll see.
진짜 항상 감사합니다. 번역가
아 진짜.
항상 감사합니다, 번역가 선생님. So, Mr. or Miss Translator, we thank you so much each time, always.
진짜로 이걸 실시간으로 그 능력자분들이 진짜 당직 서가시면서
와.
So Jin is amazed. Wow, so that translator or translators do this interpretation in real time? Such experts?
드리고 하는 걸 알면
그리고 아니 당직 서가시면서
와.
미리 말씀드리고 하는 걸 알면
그리고 아닌 것들
아닌 거는 AI가 하나 보다.
Yeah. So for spontaneous live streams, it's AI who provides subtitles, right? Whenever these members do impromptu live streams, and Jungkook knows it because he does it so often. But for like an official live stream like this one, where they tell the company in advance, they have a translator ready, which is good. I'm glad that they're doing this, right? Providing greater services for the audience, for fans.
아니면 뒤에 붙어.
오케이. 그냥 우리가 막힌 거는 AI가 하는 거네. 아니 근데 이게 한 명 한 명 어떻게 다
So RM says that 우리가 막힌 건. So when we turn on live stream just on spot, is AI.
그 고생을 안 시키려면 우리가 말을 안 하고
오케이 손 들고 얘기해.
안녕하세요.
Jimin says.
어떻게 다
그 고생을 안 시키려면 우리가 말을 안 하고
오케이 손 들고
고생을 안 시키려면 우리가 얘기를 안 하고 켜야 되네. So if we do not want to make them suffer, like translators, then we should turn on the live stream without telling the company. But RM says, all right, from now on, we should speak after raising our hands. So each of us should take a turn.
들고 얘기해.
안녕하세요. 저는 김태형입니다.
Then V is clearly challenging a translator by saying, hello, I'm Kim Taehyung, in a super fast way, fast manner.
아니 말을 천천히 해주면 되죠.
아무도 모르겠다고 힘을 대면했을 때
Jimin says, we should simply talk slower. But V is taking an exact opposite route by, so what he just said is from a rap verse. One of the fastest rap songs in Korean by a rapper known as Outsider. And this one is called 외톨이, a loner. 아무리, what was it?
아니 말을 천천히 해주면 되죠.
아무도 모르겠다고 힘을 대면했을 때
Yeah, 아무도 모르겠다 그러는 대면했을 때 도지만은 많은 대면했을 때. So it's the second verse of the song. So it's just
이건
silly.
저희도 못 알아요.
Jimin says, that one, we don't even understand.
호도 맛있다.
아,
자,
This is real.
호떡 맛있다. 호떡 is good.
리얼 타임 트랜스레이션이요. 그긴 하네.
So somebody said it's real-time translation. Yoongi notes.
자, 호덕 and bunga bang.
호떡 and bang. Trying to say these, the names of these snacks, in Korean, but in a foreign language way.
bunga bang. And
So in a playful way.
goguma
Goguma, sweet potatoes.
and
붕어빵은 영어로 뭔가요?
How do you say 붕어빵 in English? J-Hope asked.
fish bread.
Fish bread. Because 붕어 is a type of fish. Crucian carp. Alright. I didn't know. And 붕어빵 looks like that fish.
Fish bread?
Fish bread?
되게 그렇다. bunga bang. bunga bang. bunga bang.
붕어빵.
케이크가 있어요.
And there's a cake. Jin notes.
초 한번 부를까요?
아니 이번에
Should he light a candle and blow it?
연말에 저 딸기 케이크가 좀 유행인가? 다 저거 출시하는데.
Yoongi says that it seems like strawberry cakes are trendy nowadays, year-end season, because everybody else is recommending it.
근데 딸기 케이크는 언제나 클래식 아니에요? 약간 건강할
J-Hope says, but strawberry cakes is always a classic.
것 같긴 해.
It feels healthy, RM says.
케이크에 초는 왜 붙여?
초코 딸기는 처음. 그냥 뭐
초코 딸기는 처음이에요. Jungkook says that chocolate strawberry cakes is the first time for me. I've never had it before.
재밌잖아요.
건강할 것 같긴 해.
근데 케이크에 초는 왜 붙여?
초코 딸기는 처음.
케이크인데 초는 왜 붙여? Why are we lighting a candle on a cake? Jin asked.
그냥 뭐 재밌잖아요.
그냥 뭐, oh well, it's fun, for fun, Jimin says.
재밌잖아요.
2026년을 위하여.
2026년
To celebrate the coming of 2026, RM says.
위하여
To celebrate 2026.
불 킵니다.
Let's light the candle.
이제 곧 새해기도 하고 연말이고.
So it's the end of the year, and also to celebrate New Year.
그래, 야, 좀
고생했다는 의미 그리고
26년은 또 우리한테 중요한 해니까.
JK says, kind of saying we worked hard, how much we worked so hard. And J-Hope says, and 2026 is an important year for us.
26년은 방탄의 해로 가자. 큰 거.
26년은 방탄의 해로 가자. Let's make 2026 the year of BTS. Plus,
온다.
Yoongi says, 큰 거 온다. Something big is coming. Yeah, 큰 거 온다 is a phrase that people say nowadays in Korean to excite people or, whenever something exciting is about to happen. They say something big is coming. 큰 거 온다.
큰 거 온다. 진짜 큰 거 온다.
진짜 큰 거 온다. Something really big is coming.
오냐? 온다.
오냐? Who said 오냐?
큰 거 온다.
큰 거 온다. 진짜 큰 거 온다. 오냐? 온다.
Okay, RM asked himself and answered himself. Is it coming? It's coming.
자, 뭐
And JK just found it funny the way RM asked and answered at the same time.
야, 이제 곧 태영이 생일이잖아.
야, 생일 축하.
Is V's birthday? V's birthday is coming, Jin says.
예. 감사합니다.
Happy birthday, V.
생일 축하해.
RM says. Happy birthday.
케이크네.
Strawberry or chocolate strawberry cake.
자, 다들 소원 빌어 소.
Let's all make a wish, J-Hope says.
소원 빌어요?
태영이 생일 케이크 아니었어?
그리고
Isn't it Taehyung's birthday cake?
내가 소원 빌어.
Jin.
근데 저 생일은 아직 안 왔어요.
But it's not my birthday yet because RM just tells him to blow the candle, but V says that it's not my birthday yet.
누가 초 불자마자 갑자기 누가 하면 탁 쓰러지면 웃겠다.
형, 저 빌게요.
Okay, they're talking about a meme that I do not understand. So J-Hope said that it would be hilarious if we blow the candle and somebody just falls over. And JK clearly knows it. Meme. Well, yeah, Jimin, I think he doesn't know what they're talking about.
저 빌게요.
So many inside jokes going on. Hey. And then
태영이가 저 사람 아닌데.
Taehyung said, oh, okay. Now I got it. So, I still I don't know which meme they're talking about. Maybe you know the meme. So, it's a joke where somebody blowing the candle while making a wish hopes that somebody in this room would die, or like I don't know, pray that something happens to him, and then that's why J-Hope says that it would be hilarious if somebody just like falls over after blowing the candle. And then Jin makes it funny by saying that, and Taehyung might be thinking, it wasn't J-Hope though, his wish. So it's all a joke. And if you know which meme they're talking about, maybe it's, I don't know, a specific scene from a movie, let me know.
저 사람 아닌데.
아니 그러니까 제가 손을
And RM finds that joke funny, Jin's humor. 저 사람 아닌데 웃기다.
들잖아요.
It wasn't that person.
그 사람 이제 그걸 하게 되는
있는
거야.
거야.
근데
Yoongi, the way V was explaining that meme or joke to Yoongi just looked like a son explaining like a fresh meme to his dad.
들잖아요. 그 사람 이제 그걸 하게 되는
있는 거야.
죽는 거야. So that person dies.
윤경 바로 올라왔습니다. 윤기야 이거 보면 지민이한테 뿌염하라고 하세요. 할 건데
Jimin noted that somebody said in the chat room, Yoongi, if you see this message, tell Jimin to dye his root of his hair. And Jimin says that I'm going to do it, but
아니 왜 그걸 윤기 형한테 전화를 그냥
그게 아니라
말하세요.
여러분들
RM says, why should Yoongi tell him? Just tell him directly. So he's talking to the audience, that person who wrote that in the chat.
뿌염을 안 하려고 그런 게 아니라 이 머리가 너무 상해서 일단 좀 기다리고 있습니다. 중요한 일이 있을 때.
지민이가
So it's not like I'm not going to dye it. I'm just waiting for something important to come up.
다 계획이 있습니다.
RM says Jimin has it all planned.
맞죠?
머리가 너무 상했어요 지금 또.
My hair is too damaged. And that's what happens if you bleach your hair and dye your hair so much, or perm your hair, right? So
또 다른 색으로 염색할 생각 있어요?
J-Hope asked, are you planning to dye your hair in a different color? Thinking of another color for your hair?
그냥 그색 유지?
어떤
Or are you going to maintain that color?
색으로 비밀입니다.
It's a secret, Jimin says.
비밀?
비밀? Secret?
근데 우리 옛날에는
머리색 숨긴다고
맞아,
막
맞아.
이상한 색깔하고 그랬잖아.
이제
그러면 하자.
헤어스프레이도 있어.
So back in the day, we used weird colors to hide hairstyles. So J-Hope and Jin, remember? Back in the days.
이게 더 이미지 낭비였었던 것 같아.
And looking back, Jin says, that felt like wasting our image, wasting the image.
그럼 그 다음에 그 색을 못 하잖아.
Because then you cannot do that color later. So nowadays the trend has changed a bit, but in a K-pop, hair color is pretty important, right? Which color somebody tries a new color, and whether they perm it or tries new colors like pink, green, blue, rainbow, whatever. So they often hide their new hairstyle before the official comeback. So they were saying that back in the day, in order to hide our hairstyle, we used weird colors with like hairspray. We used hairspray to dye our hair in a fake way. But Jin says that itself was a waste of image, because then we cannot use that color next time.
필요했지 뭔가 좀
근데
더 이미지 낭비였었던 것 같아.
아,
그럼 그 다음에 그 색을 못 하잖아.
되게 필요했지 뭔가 좀
근데
피로했지. It was exhausting, J-Hope says.
깜짝 놀랐던 게 이번에 우리 머리 이거 하자마자 뭐 있었잖아 촬영.
JK says, what surprised me was that right after we did
우리 머리 이거 하자마자 뭐 있었잖아 촬영.
right after we did our hair, there was something, 촬영, a shoot.
근데 그 당일인가 다음 날인가 바로 사진을 올려버리더라고.
뭐 이제
And then they uploaded photos the same day or the next day. I don't know which ones he's talking about. And probably uploaded by journalists or paparazzis or just random fans or people on social media.
사실 그런 게
아이 그러면 되지.
이제 그런 게 없지. 우리가 너무 그
강박이
강박관념을
있었지.
가지고
팬들한테
머리는 항상 신곡에 나오는 머리는 막 숨겨야 된다 막 이런.
뭔가 한 번에
Oh, and J-Hope explains, now it's not really like that anymore. We used to be obsessed back in the day. Like hairstyles had to be hidden until a new song.
머리는 항상 신곡에 나오는 머리는 막 숨겨야 된다 막 이런.
뭔가 한 번에 보여주고 싶다 약간 그런 게
We wanted to show everything at once, Jimin adds.
있었지.
There was that mindset.
그런 거 없어도 돼.
좀 모르는 얘기입니다.
But we don't need that anymore, Jin says.
한 번에 보여주고 싶다 약간 그런 게 있었지.
그런 거 없어도 돼.
좀 모르는 얘기입니다.
그럼 없애면 돼. We don't need that anymore. But RM says that it's something I'm not aware of. 이건 제가 모르는 일입니다.
어디 사투리입니까?
어디 사투리입니까? What dialect is that? J-Hope asks RM.
제가요.
Me?
제가. 그렇죠.
어디까지 올라가십니까?
어디까지 올라가십니까? Jimin says. How far are you going in terms like a pitch? 저는 모르는 얘기입니다. So Jimin finds it funny, so ask him jokingly.
어디까지 올라가는 거예요?
How far am I going up?
배불러.
J-Hope, I'm full. 배불러.
아무튼 뭐 그냥 좀 헛소리 하려고 켜봤어요.
Anyway, we just turned this on to talk nonsense.
맞아요.
또 이제
That's right.
연말이니까
It's the end of the year.
뭐 계획 있으세요? 잘 지내고 계시죠?
Do you have any plans? You guys are doing well, right? RM's asking Army.
연말은 어쨌건 좀
근데 이번에 좀 안 추워가지고 뭔가
약간 기분이 안 나.
연말에는 어쨌든 좀 the end of the year is always a bit, J-Hope says. And SUGA says it hasn't been that cold this time. Yeah, the weather has been kind of weird in Korea. It suddenly got cold in like October, like super chilly. But now that we are in the midst of December, it's kind of, I don't know, it's not that freezing.
날마다 너무 달라요.
근데 이번에 좀
So that was me talking because I also live in Korea. I live in Seoul.
안 추워가지고 뭔가
약간 기분이 안
근데
나.
날마다
기분이 안 나, RM says. So it doesn't feel like the end of the year.
너무 달라요.
근데 나 너무 추운데.
Each year is 날마다 너무 달라요, but it changes every day. Jimin says.
근데 오늘 추워.
아니,
진짜
But today was cold. J-Hope says.
보일러를 키면
생각보다 안
끄면 엄청 추워지고.
영화로
보일러를 키면 덥고 끄면 엄청 추워지고. Jimin says. If you turn the heater on, though, it's hot. But if you turn it off, it gets really cold.
떨어지잖아.
날씨가 이거
생각보다 안 추워.
끄면
생각보다 안 추워. RM says. It's not colder than you think.
엄청 추워지고.
Not as cold as you think.
영화로 지금 안 떨어지잖아.
영하로 안 떨어지잖아. So it's not below the 0 Celsius degrees. 영하, negative Celsius degrees. It's not. So it's above the 0 right now in Korea.
날씨가 이거
내 집은 늘 따뜻해.
Jin says, 내 집은 늘 따뜻해. But my place is always warm.
30도 틀잖아 보일러.
You always turn the heater on at 30 Celsius degrees. 30도. So for Americans, Celsius to Fahrenheit. 86 Fahrenheit degrees. So that's the room temperature that Jin prefers at his place.
내 집은 늘 27도야.
그래서
My place is always 27 degrees. Okay, so 27 instead of 30. Or, I don't know, whatever, 80 Fahrenheit.
아무도 형 집에 놀러를 못 가고
근데
있다는
진짜
소문이
아무도
들리던데.
없더라.
Jimin says. So I heard a rumor that no one is able to come over to your place, meaning because it's too hot.
너무 더워가지고.
너무 더워가지고 because it's too hot.
딱 좋아, 너무 좋아.
집안 적도
No, 딱 좋아. It's perfect. So good, Jin says.
온도는 한 24도에서 25도라 생각합니다.
24년.
For J-Hope, 24 to 25 Celsius degrees. That's the ideal home temperature.
나는 집 한 21도로 하고 있는데.
와, 전국에
RM for RM is 21.
너무 추워. 얼마나 되게
Jin says,
나는 집 한 21도로 하고 있는데.
what is JK doing here?
집안 적정 온도는 한 24도에서 25도라 생각합니다.
24년.
Okay, can we go back a little bit? What is doing?
너무 더워가지고.
딱 좋아, 너무 좋아.
집안 적정 온도는 한 24도에서 25도라 생각합니다.
24년이고.
나는 집 한
I have no idea.
21도로 하고 있는데.
와, 전국에 너네 집 너무 추워. 얼마나 되게
Jin says that Jungkook's place is too cold.
이야기 하고 싶었어.
한기가 좀
오셔가지고.
그래? 좀
근데-
편하네? 아니 근데 괜찮아.
난
Okay, clearly Yoongi says something, which excited
넌
J-Hope.
지금 한 21도로 하고 있나?
와 정국이
너네
집이
집
너무
추워.
추워.
얼마 전에
그
이야기 하고 싶었어.
한기가 좀
추워가지고.
아, 그래? 좀
근데-
편하네?
Okay, Yoongi said that RM's place is too cold, and J-Hope agrees. I felt a chill while being at RM's house,
아니 근데 괜찮아.
but it's still okay. J-Hope says
딱 좀.
나도 나 그냥
it was perfect. Jimin says
안 키웠어.
22도에서
I do not turn the heater on. RM says
3도가 적당하다.
그게 우리
Jimin, 22 to 23 Celsius degrees. That's ideal. That's perfect.
우리가 약간 그런 거 같아.
나 몸에 열이 안 이거.
So RM says 우리가 딱 그런 것 같아. We are like that. We have too much heat in our body, so we get hot easily.
난 요즘 보일러 아직 안 틀거든.
나도 안 틀어.
JK says I haven't turned on the heater yet.
그래?
Same with RM.
아 근데 봐봐 지금 12월이죠 아닌데 아직도 보일러를 안 튼 거면 이거 좀 진짜 뭔가 문제가 있다. 나는
기후 위기가 심각.
Yoongi, it's still it's December already, and the fact that we're not turning the heater on, there are problems. And at first, I thought he was like being playful and saying that there's something wrong with these members who are not turning the heater on, but I think he's referring to the weather. Why? Because RM says something like
아닌데 아직도 보일러를 안 튼 거면 이거 좀 진짜 뭔가 문제가 있다. 나는
기후 위기가 심각한 거 같아.
기후 위기가 심각해요. So global warming is serious. RM says.
아까 거기 우리 촬영했을 때 벌벌 떨면서 진짜 너무 추웠어.
But Jin, so the last time earlier during the shoot, I was shaking because it was really cold.
근데 너네들이 적정 온도라고 하길래 그냥 참고 하긴 했는데 나 진짜 너무 추웠어.
But you guys all said it was the right temperature, so I endured it, but I was freezing.
나는
RM said 딱 좋았는데 it was perfect for me.
벗어드려 빨리.
빨리 매너나.
아 진짜 안 되겠네. 다
The way Jimin is like doing that overreaction while taking off that jacket to give it to Jin. We gotta watch this one more time.
거기 우리 촬영했을 때 벌벌 떨면서
When does he start doing that?
진짜 너무 추웠어. 근데 너네들이 적정 온도라고 하길래 그냥 참고 하긴 했는데 나 진짜 너무 추웠어.
나는
Right after Jin, as he finishes the sentence.
근데 너네들이 적정 온도라고 하길래 그냥 참고 하긴 했는데 나 진짜 너무
And he's like,
추웠어.
나는
몰랐잖아.
형 몰랐잖아. I didn't know, Jimin says.
벗어드려.
벗어드려. Take it out, J-Hope says, encouraging him.
벗어드려 빨리.
빨리, quickly.
매너나.
Manonam. Man of manner.
아 진짜 안 되겠네. 다 벗어.
And J-Hope does it too. Everybody take off your jacket or clothes. But the RM says, okay. But then he fakes it. So cover him up, JK says.
야이 말이 쉽지가 않다 이게. 따뜻하다.
거의 성냥팔이 소리 아니야.
따뜻해 훈훈하다.
Jin says that, oh my god, I cannot. 말이 쉽지가 않다. I cannot say anything easily. Oh my god, it's super warm. It's so warm.
따뜻해? 이제 더
Is it warm? J-Hope says.
거야.
Soon it's gonna get hot.
너무 좋다. 너무 따뜻해.
This is too good. It's so warm. Jin says.
제대로 덮어준 거 맞아?
They covered you up properly? JK says.
왼쪽에 있는 게 따뜻하네. 이거
자다가 뭔
So the one on the left is super warm. So that's J-Hope's. Human made. The J-Hope collaboration with the brand.
짓을 했는지 모르겠어. 너 설마 아예 그렇게 있어 다. 너 아직도 너 몸 만지면서 자냐? 아예 야 근데
Wait.
너 설마 맞아?
So now we're on a different topic.
따뜻해.
나-
왼쪽에 있는 게 따뜻하네.
나
이거
자다가 뭔 짓을 했는지 모르겠어. 너 설마 아예
J-Hope says, I don't know what I did while I was asleep. While pointing to his wrist.
그렇게 있어 다.
It's all scratched.
너 아직도 너 몸 만지면서 자냐? 아예 야 근데
RM, do you still sleep nowadays while touching your body? Or do you still touch your body while sleeping? So in this case, like scratching your body.
뭐하지 이게? 맞아.
Jimin.
아직도 너 몸 만지면서 자냐? 아예 야 근데
뭐하지 이게?
맞아. 보면 뭐 이런 거잖아.
아예 근데 이렇게
Okay, I was trying to, was deliberately using the word scratching, but then RM does this thing. So he was clearly saying touching.
긁히진 않아. 야 근데
뭐하지 이게?
야 그렇게 있어 다. 너 너 아직도 너 몸 만지면서 자냐?
아야 근데 뭐 맞지?
Do you still touch your body while sleeping?
맞아. 처음에 뭐 이런 거 자잖아.
아 근데 이렇게 긁히진 않지.
But 이렇게 긁히진 않았지. It was never this bad. I have not scratched like this before. J-Hope says.
이제 긁는 걸로 지나간 거지.
이제 긁는 걸로 지나간 거지. Maybe it evolved into scratching. So from touching into scratching.
같은 방 썼잖아.
무서워.
같은 방 썼잖아. Jimin says. We shared a room.
겠다.
그러게.
불 꺼져 있는데 내가
무서웠겠다. JK says.
긁는 걸로 지나간 거지.
야, 나 같은 방 썼잖아.
무서웠겠다.
It must have been scary for you. JK says.
그러게.
불 꺼져 있는데 내가 핸드폰 하다 이게 눈 잘 안 보이는 거 알지?
So it was dark, right? The lights off, and I was on my phone. And you know how I cannot see well.
있어서 옆에 봐.
그러게.
불 꺼져 있는데 내가 핸드폰 하다 이게 눈 잘 안 보이는 거 알지? 괜히 있어서 옆에 봤는데 뭐가 하나가 이렇게
So I was like, turned around, and then I saw something.
이거.
공중에 something was up in the air.
그리고 다른 손으로 나서
호비랑 같이 앉은 지가 진짜 오래된.
And do we know this story? J-Hope like touching his arm. So he was apparently having his arm raised up in the air, and the other arm. And he was touching his arm with his own hand like that in the dark.
돼가지고 어떻게 지금 요새
다른 손으로 나서
호비랑 같이 앉은
It was almost like a
지가
ritual.
진짜 오래돼가지고 어떻게 지금 요새 어떻게 자냐?
Jin says that it's been a long time since the last time I shared a room with J-Hope. So how do you sleep nowadays?
그냥 평범하게 자죠.
I just sleep normally.
아니 자기 자는 거 모를 거
Jimin,
아니야? 어떻게 자냐?
그냥 평범하게 자죠. 이렇게.
이렇게 like this?
아니 자기 자는 거 모를 거 아니야?
But you don't know how you sleep though, Jin asked. That's a fair question.
모르지.
RM says, 모르지. That's right. You don't know.
내 생각에 난 평범하게 잔다고 생각해.
아 그래?
J-Hope says, I think I sleep normally.
그때는
옛날에
나도
진짜
좀 평범해졌다. 원래 되게 많이 움직였는데 요즘은 좀 가만히 잘 자.
JK, I became normal. I've become more normal nowadays. I used to move a lot in bed, but these days I stay still. Speaking of which, I think I saw this photo that an army photoshopped and posted on social media, like how these guys have different postures while sleeping in bed, and someone was like spinning around, someone was like upside down, you know what I'm saying, like flipped. That was funny.
종이 깨는 거 되게 해.
원래 되게 많이 움직였는데 요즘은 좀 가만히 잘 자.
So JK used to move a lot, but these days he stays still.
종이 깨는 거 되게 해.
깨는, Jin says Jungkook used to wake up too easily. Is that what he said?
하고 싶은 말.
아니 그 좁은 그 침대에서
RM observed that Jimin is trying to say something. He wants to say something.
또 이렇게 뱅뱅 돌더라고요.
Oh,
이게 되게 작잖아요.
군대 침대가 딱 요만하잖아. 왜 요만하잖아?
okay. 군대 침대. So they're talking about the military. So Jimin and Jungkook were military mates, right? Jimin says that the military bed is super tiny, but even within that size, even on that narrow bed, JK was spinning around.
아니 그 좁은
움직였는데 요즘은 좀 가만히 잘 자.
And I love, thank you RM for noticing that Jimin was trying to say something.
종이 깨는 거 되게 해.
하고 싶은 말.
아니 그 좁은 그 침대에서도 이렇게 뱅뱅 돌더라고요.
뱅뱅 돌더라고요. He was spinning around like that. Bang bang.
이게 되게 작잖아요.
군대 침대가 딱 요만하잖아.
Military bed is this tiny, this narrow, Jin says.
되게
근데 왜
작잖아요.
요만하잖아. 자고 일어나잖아. 그럼 그 자세 딱 그대로.
그래?
But once I wake up, I'm in a normal shape. 딱 그대로 있어. His JK explains.
한 바퀴
웬만해서.
다 돌고
돌아오잖아. 그럼 그 자세 딱 그대로.
그래?
한 바퀴
웬만해서.
다 돌고
돌아온 거야. 아니 거기서
SUGA now is trying to theorize that the reason why JK, although while he's asleep, he moves around, he spins around, the reason why he's back to his normal posture is because he probably spun around like 360 degrees.
볼 수가 있어.
웬만해서.
다 돌고
돌아온 거야.
아니
거기서
I love how he said it 4 times.
돌 수가 있어?
돌더라고.
돌더라고요. 옆으로
돌더라고요. Jin wonders, how do you even spin in that narrow bed? And Jimin says, 돌더라고요. He does though. He did though. He did spin.
돌다가 뭐 또 어떻게 돌아요?
아니
자다 깨.
He 어떻게 돌아요? He spun. He was spinning somehow.
근데
근데
거꾸로 돼
침대가 얼마나 좁냐면 난 자면서 돌다가 뭐 또 어떻게 돌아요?
아니 자다 깼는데
근데
거꾸로 돼
침대가 얼마나 좁냐면
자다 깨다가 거꾸로 된 적도 있어? Have you ever like woke up in the middle of the night and realized that you're like flipped? And JK says, yes.
난 자면서 거의 안 움직이는데 나도 가끔 떨어지는
난 정확히 알아요.
형저 침상.
딱 있으면 난 자면서 거의 안 움직이는데
Jin says,
나도 가끔 돌아요.
아니 자다 깼는데
근데
거꾸로 돼
침대가 얼마나 좁냐면 난 잠
so he's trying to explain how narrow a military bed is. 군대 침대가 얼마나 좁냐면, so the military bed is, this is how narrow it is. I barely move in my sleep.
자면서 거의 안 움직이는데 나도
Yeah, I barely move in my sleep.
가끔 떨어지는
But even I sometimes fell. Yes. Yes. That's correct.
정확히 알아요.
형저 침상에.
딱 이 사이즈예요.
Jimin says, I know exactly the size is this big or this narrow.
안 떨어지죠.
끔찍까지.
난 침상 좋았어.
So from elbow to elbow, right there.
떨어질 수가 없어. 형저 침상에.
딱 이 사이즈예요.
침상 안
Oh, RM.
움직이는데 나도 가끔 떨어지는
난 정확히 알아요.
형저 침상에.
딱 이 사이즈.
형 저 침상이에요. So we all know that RM was in this military base that's probably the oldest out among these members. So 침상, 군대 침상 is a traditional style, like on a wooden board, right? Sleeping, sharing the room, and sharing the floor, literally I don't like wooden plank. How would you even describe this with other guys sleeping next to each other? So that's what RM used,
사이즈예요.
which is why he sounded kind of sad here.
근데 나도 가끔 떨어지는
난 정확히 알아요.
형저 침상에.
딱 이
형 저 침상이에요. 형, I use a 침상, the wooden
사이즈예요.
침상 안 떨어지는
thingy,
끔찍까지.
and 침상 안 떨어지지. Jin says, or was it Jin?
난 정확히 알아요.
형저 침상에.
딱 이 사이즈예요.
침상 안 떨어지는
Yeah, you cannot fall off this thing though. Jin told RM. So that's one benefit of using this super old military bed. Gosh.
난 침상 좋았어. 난
침상 떨어질 수가 없어.
침상 좋았어. Jin liked it. But RM basically reiterated what he just heard from Jin.
고개를 과물대에 쳐박는다니까.
RM says 고개를 관물대에 쳐박고 자니까. So it was so packed that his head was below this metal cabinet. You see right here? Do you see it? Yeah. So while he was sleeping, his bed would be positioned below this thing, his own metal cabinet. And he talked about this during his live stream, solo live stream after his military discharge. The first one, he did it with V. Maybe he talked about it then, but then later he did one more time at his home, right?
이거 뭐야? 뭐 이상하게 들어있어.
침상 나가면 안 돼?
고개를 과물대에 쳐박는다니까. 붕어빵 이거 뭐야? 뭐 이상하게 들어있어.
이거 안
J-Hope, there's something strange inside this 붕어빵.
말차요 말.
여러분
RM says it's red bean paste, but JK said it's 말차.
진짜
Now, V says 여러분, drawing attention. 진짜, for real or seriously,
새가 얼마 안 남았습니다.
New Year's coming.
그러니까 벌써 또
Good.
드디어
Thank you, V, for bringing us back to the topic of 2026. So this is me speaking.
뭐냐?
진짜 새가 얼마 안 남았습니다.
I love whenever he does that.
그러니까 벌써 또
드디어 오냐?
드디어 오냐? Is it finally coming?
26년?
큰거 오냐?
큰 거 오냐? Is something big coming?
진짜 제발.
Was it Yoongi who said that?
드디어 오냐? 26년?
큰거 오냐?
Yeah. Sounds like Yoongi is clearly excited about. I mean, we all are excited, but this is the third time or fourth time Yoongi said Is something big coming or something big is coming?
진짜 제발 와.
시간이 너무
제발 와라. Please come already.
느려.
Time is so slow. Time feels so slow. Jin says.
제발.
제발, please. We're for real. RM.
제발.
뭔가 이게
나 25년 지났다라는 것도 믿겨지지가 않아 사실.
J-Hope, I cannot even believe that 2025 is over.
근데 좀
빨리 내년 봄에 왔으면 좋겠어.
이 시간대
JK, I wish next spring would come faster.
괴롭긴 해.
These times are tough, Jimin says.
야, 나
쉽지가 않아.
우리 회사가
It's not easy.
좀 더 뭔가 좀 우리한테 더 애정을 가져줬으면 좋겠어. 왜? 어떤 이유지? 나 이런 말 잘 안 하잖아. 어떤 이유?
Okay, so, yep, this is the footage where a lot of people are posting on social media right now. And I just noted that Jimin was laughing even before RM was finishing his sentence. So RM said, I wish our company would show us a bit more care. 우리 회사가 좀 더 뭔가 좀 우리한테 더 애정을 가져줬으면 좋겠어. And
뭔가 좀 우리한테 더 애정.
wait, was Jimin laughing about what RM is saying? So maybe there's something we don't know going on, and maybe it's like an inside, not really an inside joke,
우리 회사가 좀 더
right? As soon as RM said 우리 회사, our company, Jimin starts laughing,
뭔가 좀 우리한테 더
and then JK is laughing too. Oh, V's laughing too. Okay. I'm not, I don't do over analytical stuff, but I just noticed something interesting going on. So let me do a semi analysis only for this section because I just noted each member's expression is different.
뭔가 좀 우리한테 더
이 시간들이 괴롭긴 해.
나
쉽지가 않아.
우리 회사가 좀 더 뭔가 좀 우리한테 더 애정을 가져줬으면 좋겠어.
Look at Jin. Jin is looking around the room and he's trying to see how the staff members who are behind the camera are responding. And he's like awkwardly laughing.
어떤 이유지? 나 이런 말
And J-Hope asks RM, okay, for what reason? So he wants more details. He wants RM to be more specific.
잘 안 하잖아. 어떤 이유지?
RM says, I don't usually say something like this. Right?
왜?
Why?
나 이런 말
For what reason? RM says, I don't usually say something like this, right?
왜? 이런 애들이 없나? 회사가? 열심히 뭐 해주잖아.
And SUGA says,
나 이런 말 잘 안 하잖아.
왜? 이런 애들이 없나? 회사가? 열심히 뭐 해주잖아.
SUGA says, they don't do enough for us.
모르 잘안 하잖아.
왜? 이런 애들이
Why?
없나? 회사가?
They don't. Our company doesn't do enough.
열심히 뭐 해주잖아.
열심히 뭐 해주잖아. They do work hard though. Jin says.
모르겠어요.
모르겠어요. I don't know. And
그냥 좀 더 우리를 좀 보살펴 좀
and now Jimin is doing that fist pump.
보듬어 줬으면 좋겠어.
좀 더 보듬어 줬으면 좋겠어. Just I don't know, just a bit more. I wish they would take care of us more. Or 보듬어 줬으면 좋겠어. 보듬다. That's I mean, I don't want to do like over analytical, but 보듬다, like more embracing, or just they would take care of us more. 보듬다. It's a word that you would say when you pat someone on the back in a warm way. 보듬다. In an embracing manner.
그 보듬어 준다는 의미로 지금 위버스에서 우리에게 이 3천만 기념 트로피를 주셨습니다.
진짜 수고한데 형님.
야,
Jin, he says that in that sense, speaking of 보듬어 준다, speaking of taking care of us, or speaking of, I don't know, encouraging us, Weverse gave us this. So here's a 30 million milestone trophy. I think BTS hits 30 million on the Weverse community. Do you see it here? Okay, yeah, 31.6 millions. So when Jin said that, RM said that, wow, Jin, you're very smooth. And yeah, it's clear that Jin was trying to read the room and trying to do a damage control. Not damage control, but you know what I mean. Trying to move on to the next topic. Alright, let's watch that section one more time.
어떠한 이유지?
And I feel like I know the conversations going on social media. A lot of people saying that, you know, HYBE or Big Hit, do your work. How dare you are making these guys say something like that in public? And who knows what is going on? The only thing I know that there must be something that we have no idea about. But based on their expressions, I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with communications. So we'll see. We'll see. But I don't think it's a simple matter. You know, whenever I see people saying something like, you know, like F you, Big Hit, HYBE, BTS built you guys. You know, you must treat them better. And when I see something like that, I don't know what they're referring to. Are they talking about like marketing or taking legal actions or something else? I don't know. But I think here in this case, RM is referring to a specific thing that I have no idea about. These guys are smiling and laughing.
어떠한 이유지? 나 이런 말 잘 안 하잖아.
애정이 없나?
And it's just funny how J-Hope and Jin, J-Hope on the leftmost, Jin sitting at the rightmost, and SUGA in the center is trying to, I don't know, is asking him questions to be more specific, while the younger guys are just like smiling and laughing.
나? 그래서가?
아니 뭐
열심히 뭐 해주잖아.
아니 모르겠어요.
모르겠어요. I don't know.
그냥 좀 더 우리를 좀 보살펴
Fist bump.
좀 보듬어줬으면 좋겠어. 그러니까.
그 보듬어 준다는 의미로 지금 위버스에서 우리
Alright, let's just move on.
이
그런데
3천만 기념 트로피를 주셨습니다.
진행 스무스한데 형님?
야,
So your emceeing is so smooth, Jin, RM says.
트로피야?
So is that a trophy?
기념손의 트로피.
나 뭐만.
이거는
아니 근데 위버스가 이런 거 좀 잘하더라. 그때 막 선물 맞아 뭐 잘 챙겨서
자,
SUGA is praising Weverse. Weverse, they are good in this sense.
은하잖아.
저희가
위버스가 이런 거 좀 잘하더라. 그때 막 선물
They're pretty neat
맞아 뭐
doing something like this.
잘 챙겨서
자,
이거 은하잖아.
저희가
Yeah, it kind of reminds you of what YouTube does once you hit a specific milestone, right? Sending you like a silver button, gold button.
자 3천만
So that's me making an observation.
팔로워를
So 30 million followers, and JK is amazed by that, whatever that thing is, like a crystal ball.
뭐야?
Crystal ball.
야 여기 이쁘다. 내가 가져가도 되냐?
It's pretty. Can I take it home? Jin says.
1000만이 21년에 됐고 2천만
So 10 million subscribers milestone. We hit that in 2021,
23년에 됐고
뭔가
3천만이 25년에 됐네요.
와.
and we hit 30 million in 25 this year, 2025.
2년 주기로
점진적 과부하.
나 집에
So every 2 years.
그것도 있어. 위버스
와.
2년 주기로
점진적 과부하.
나 집에 그것도 있어. 위버스에서 되게
RM clearly loves it. He says something like 점진적 과부하, so gradually overwhelming or something like that.
열심히 왔다고 개근상으로 줬던 상장.
Jin says, I still have it at home too when Weverse gave an award to me as a perfect attendance award. So as a great attendance award. Probably Jin received the award for posting frequently on Weverse, communicating with the fans.
아무튼 3천만
Or like maybe there's a check-in feature for artists.
명이나 가입해 주셔서 정말 감사합니다.
So thank you. Anyway, thank you for the 30 million, to the 30 million. Thank you so much.
그래도 꾸준히 성장했네요.
Anyway, we have grown steadily, RM says. 꾸준히 성장했네요.
많이 성장했죠. 1년에
We really have grown.
500만씩 넣는 거예요, 그러면.
So it's like about 5 million a year, right? Suga observed. So 21, did they say? Yeah, it's about that, right?
3천만 명이 제가 위버스에다가 그 태영이 댓글에다 댓글대면 봐주신다는 거.
RM, if there are 30 million people, then that means when I reply to Taehyung's comment on Weverse, that means they will see it. 30 million, right?
그렇죠.
대단한데?
That's amazing.
이야.
말 한마디 한마디 조심해야 되는 거야. 그래서
J-Hope. So you have to be careful with every single word.
돌아간다.
근데
이야.
말 한마디 한마디 조심해야 되는 거야. 그래서
그러니까 돌아간다.
근데 위버스가 뭔가 이런 좀 아기자
When J-Hope was laughing after saying that,
한마디 한마디 조심해야 되는 거야. 그래서
그러니까 돌아간다.
근데 위버스가 뭔가 이런 좀 아기자기한
and RM's response,
조심해야 되는 거야. 그래서
그러니까 돌아간다.
you have to be careful with every single word.
근데 위버스가 뭔가 이런 좀 아기자기한 좀 맛이 있네.
Suga said, Weverse has kind of this cute, like small scale charm, referring to that trophy and doing celebration like that.
아기자기한 좀 맛이
There's a interaction between J-Hope and RM going on right now.
있네.
뭐라고?
좀 맛이 있네.
뭐라고?
위버스가 뭔가
I have no idea. Maybe J-Hope was cautioning him not to do that. Who knows?
그러니까 돌아간다.
근데 위버스가 뭔가 이런 좀 아기자기한 좀 맛이 있네.
그런 거 하지 마. Don't do something like that. I don't know. Let's move on.
뭐라고?
But RM maybe didn't hear him.
위버스가 뭔가 이런 좀 아기자기한 맛이 있네. 위버스가
뭐야 이거 돌아가네? 왜 돌아가?
J-Hope noticed the marble or the crystal ball is spinnable.
야 돌아갔어.
솔직히 옛날에 V앱이었을 때가 엊그제 같거든요.
그렇지. 그 VF
So it feels like yesterday when we used VApp. It just feels like yesterday when we used VApp, which is Weverse before the transition happened.
이라고 하면 아시라며.
나
They say that if you know VApp, then you're an old man.
근데 나
아저씨, Suga says.
가끔씩
나 VF
아저씨긴 해.
근데
Oh, if you
이라고 하면
say VApp instead of Weverse, then you are 아저씨, Suga says. And J-Hope says,
나 근데 나 가끔씩
나 VF
I say it sometimes like that. VApp instead of Weverse.
아저씨긴 해.
근데
RM2.
VF이라고 하면 요즘 애기들은 잘 모른대.
And kids these days don't really know what VApp is. Jin says. VApp. VLive. Oh. Wait. VLive was called VApp? Okay. Anyways, it used to be called VLive.
혹시 모르겠지.
거의 10년 전 문화 이러니까.
예?
Because it was 10 years ago.
그렇게 됐어?
7, 8년 됐지.
It was that old?
10년 됐지. 나온 10년 됐지. 10년 문화 이러니까.
예? 그렇게 됐어?
VApp? Interesting.
7, 8년 됐지. 10년 됐지. 나온 10년 됐지.
Yeah, it's been 10 years. Suga agrees.
나 우리가 VF 처음 탔을 때도 기억. 우리가 쩔어쯤에
I still remember the first time we used VApp, J-Hope says.
쩔어쯤에 VF이 나왔어.
맞아. 10년.
When we released our song 쩔어, Dope, that's when VApp came out.
맞아. 그 동남아에서 우리가 라이브 한번 켜서 태국인가 어디.
We once went live in Southeast Asia. Was it Thailand or somewhere?
와, 진짜 신기했는데 그때. 맞아.
That was really mind-blowing, RM says, at the time.
진짜. 그랬던 시절 있었다.
There really was a time like that, J-Hope says.
세상이 너무 발전했어. 따라가기가 힘들어.
Jin, the world has advanced too much. It's hard to keep up.
아니, 한 10년 후면 이제 뭐 진짜 카메라가 없이 라이브 될 걸요.
In 10 years, we'll probably go live without cameras, J-Hope says.
10년 후면
생각만으로 띵.
RM, Oh, so you mean we can go live with just thoughts only?
라이브 켜줘. 그러면 이제 매트릭스잖아 그냥.
SUGA is basically Matrix, referring to the sci-fi movie. This one.
맨날 집에 누워 있으면 되는 거잖아.
그게 매트릭스잖아. 누워.
Jimin says that means we can basically lie at home all day.
가지고 그냥 내 세상이 이렇게 만들어지는.
재워줘. 노래 불러줘.
만들어지는.
되는 거잖아.
Talking.
그게 매트릭스잖아. 누워가지고 그냥 내 세상이 이렇게 만들어지는.
누워가지고 내 세상이 만들어지는. So while lying down, creating your own world, that kind of thing. SUGA says.
재워줘.
재워줘. Take me to sleep.
노래 불러줘.
So probably acting as if they're making an order to AI in the future. 노래 불러줘. Sing me a song.
아니 뭐 로봇들 움직임이 이제 인간과 너무 비슷하더라고 진짜.
신기하지 진짜.
그런 다음에
All of a sudden, they're talking about the future and scientific advancements. SUGA says the way robots move nowadays is already so similar to humans.
일안 하는 게 목표라며 인류가 일을 안 하는 게.
인류는 뭘?
So the objective of humanity, the objective, the final goal is not doing work anymore. I heard SUGA says.
해야 되는 거야.
아니 그럼 인류는 어떻게 먹고 살아? 일을 해야 돈을 벌잖아. 그러니까 이제 그런
So then how do people survive? Because you need to work to earn money, Jin says.
노동과 이런 버는 행위는 이제 다 로봇이 한다.
요즘에는
So the act of working, like labor, that's going to be handled by robots, SUGA says.
이제
I didn't expect to translate something like this during their Weverse live stream.
얼마나 독점을 잘해서 AI를 얼마나 잘 사용하는가.
근데 그건
요즘에는 이제 AI를 얼마나 독점을 잘해서 AI를 얼마나 잘 사용하는가.
근데 그
Out of nowhere, JK says, these days it's all about who controls AI and who uses it best.
그거는 이제 소수만 돈을 벌 수 있는 행위고. 그러니까 이제
But that's something that only a small group can profit from, Jin says.
대다수는 직장을 잃게 되죠. 이제 재활하는
Most people end up losing jobs.
게 필요 없어지는 거죠. 그럼 BTS
재화라는 게 필요가 없어지는 거고요. So there will be no need for money or currency in the future. 재화 is 재화. Alright, goods. Goods? No need for products in the future?
그러니까 이제 대다수는 직장을 잃게 되죠. 이제 재활하는 게 필요 없어지는 거죠.
그럼 BTS와 AI가 저 결합하면 어떤 게 탄생될 것 같아?
이제 뭐
이제 그런 게
AI가 방탄
I don't know what word SUGA used in the sense.
AI가 저
대다수는 직장을 잃게 되죠. 이제 재활하는 게 필요 없어지는 거죠.
그럼 BTS와 AI가 저 결합하면 어떤 게 탄생될 것 같아?
J-Hope asked that interesting question. So what would happen if BTS and AI were combined?
뭐
이제 그런 게
AI가 방탄되고 방탄 없어지는 거야.
Jimin says, then AI becomes BTS and BTS disappears.
야, 그럼 무슨 소리 하지 말자.
아 그렇다니까.
Let's not say scary things like that, J-Hope says. 무서운 얘기는 하지 말자.
아 현실이.
아니 우리 사람들끼리
But Jimin goes, but that's the reality though.
좀더
없어지는 거야.
야, 그럼 무슨 소리 하지 말자.
아 그렇다니까 현실이.
그렇다니까, that's what it is. That's the reality though, Jimin says.
우리 얼굴 다
And RM says, 우리 사람들끼리 좀 더 보듬어 줘야 된다니까. We need to take better care of each other as people. That reminds me of Instagram story, a photo that RM posted on his Instagram story these pretty recently, right? Archive. Is it still up? Yeah, he changed his profile photo. No, it's gone. Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about.
만들어낼 수
우리
있잖아
서로
AI가.
서로 옆에서
아니 우리 사람들끼리 좀 더 보듬어줘야 된다.
우리 얼굴 다 만들어낼 수
우리
있잖아
서로
AI가.
서로
우리 얼굴 다 만들 수 있잖아요, AI가. AI can recreate all our faces now, Jin says.
옆에서 이제 안아주고 해야 돼.
그러니까
서로 옆에서 안아주고 해야 돼. We should stay beside each other and embrace each other.
보듬어줘야 된다.
우리 얼굴 다 만들어낼 수
우리
있잖아
서로
AI가.
서로
그거 해야 돼.
Yeah, so Jimin is agreeing with RM. We should all embrace each other.
그러니까 이제 전쟁도 그만하고 싸움도 그만하고 그렇게 해야 돼. 인류끼리 친하게 지내야 돼.
저희 좀 친하게
SUGA says we should all stop wars, stop fighting. That's what we need to do, and humans should get along. Preach.
전쟁도 그만하고
서로 옆에서 이제 안 하고 해야 돼.
그러니까 이제 전쟁
부족해?
서로 옆에서
I'm trying to see what JK said right here.
이제 안 하고 해야 돼.
그러니까 이제
Okay. So remember Jin said nowadays AI can recreate our faces and images and videos, but JK says that they're still not there yet. It's still they're lacking. 부족해.
AI도 그만하고 그렇게 해야 돼. 인류끼리 친하게 지내야 돼.
저희 좀 친하게 같이 지내요 진짜로.
Meanwhile, yeah, SUGA said we should all stop war, stop fighting. That's what we need to do. Humans should get along. Let's get along. And then that's what we're supposed to do. And then RM said, 저희 좀 친하게 같이 지내요. Let's get along together. And yeah, I fully agree. Although the reality is harsher, right? At the same time, the reality is actually warmer than our imagination. Especially nowadays when we use social media all the time. All the noises and hatred get amplified by the algorithm. So I personally believe that the majority of humans is ready to get along. But yeah, I fully agree with RM and SUGA. Well, I mean these guys and J-Hope showing that peace sign.
얼마 전에 셋이 라이브 켰던.
사랑해요. We love you. Jimin says.
뭐야? 비긴저.
All right, on to a different topic. So we're just now transitioning from the topic of AI, robots, and future of labor to the recent live stream by who was it? It was 진비국밥. Oh, they actually titled it this way. So Jin plus V plus Jungkook and RM.
얼마 전에 셋이 라이브 켰던.
Yep. So I heard or I saw that three of you guys went live the other day.
뭐야? 비긴저.
비진정.
술 먹고 있는데 갑자기 그 정국이었나 태형이가 갑자기 우리 라이브 한번 키자 그래서
So we were drinking and Taehyung suddenly said, "Let's go live."
갑자기 너 잘했는데 왜 라이브를 켜 이랬더니
삼겹살에 미역 좀
키자 그래서 갑자기 너 잘했는데 왜 라이브를 켜 이랬더니
삼겹살에 미역 줄기 넣은 다음에
So again, Jin wasn't ready to do that, and he probably wasn't that. Okay, so what he said that when V suggested that, let's go live, Jin responded, according to himself, you said, or we said that we're just drinking. Why go live? And then he was trying to finish the sentence. Then Jimin
그 정국이었나
joined in.
뭐야? 비긴저.
술 먹고 있는데 갑자기 그 정국이었나 태형이었나
Yeah, Jin didn't remember correctly whether it was Jungkook or V who suggested the idea. Jungkook says it was Taehyung.
태형이가 갑자기 우리 라이브 한번 키자 그래서
라이브 한번 키자. Let's go live.
갑자기 너 잘했는데 왜 라이브를 켜 이랬더니
Jimin, I saw it.
삼겹살에 미역 줄기 넣은 다음에
You said that you're putting in seaweed into samgyeopsal. So remember, if you had watched my translation, it was probably because V was tipsy a bit. He was laying out all the recipe ingredients for gochujang samgyeopsal that Jin cooked for these guys. And he was supposed to say B1, like MSG. Is MSG like an English even? Alright, it's a common food additive used to enhance savory flavors. But he said something that sounds similar in Korean, 미역줄기. So that's what Jimin is referring to, the mistake that he made verbally. But he has no idea what Jimin is talking about.
아니 미원.
미원 넣는데.
미원은
Yeah, Mi1. So Mi1 is the specific brand for MSG in Korean, the most famous and popular. To add that flavor, savory flavor, unami flavor.
미원은 좀 많이 하지. 미원은
미원.
맛소금 미원.
미역 출발했다고? 아니야. 나 먹어봐.
Alright, I just noticed that we're still not even past 20 minutes mark. Jimin says, of course, and so V was saying 미원. I was saying 미원, not 미역줄기. Jimin, 알고 있지. I know. So he's just making fun of him, teasing him.
미역 출발했다고?
미역줄기 했다고? You're saying I said 미역줄기? No, just take this and feeding. What is it, tangerine or something into his mouth?
그거 많이 하는.
That was funny.
내가 하긴 했어. 코너가 많이 하다 시코너는. 그거 많이 하는. 내가 하긴 했어. 코너가 많이 하다 시코너는.
시식 코너 가면 많이 하잖아.
그래서 그거 많이 하는. 내가 하긴 했어. 코너가 많이 하다 시코너는.
So they have like seaweed stems at markets where they can do like a free tasting. SUGA.
그래서 라이브
Sometimes SUGA can get like really random
켰지 태양이
or super serious,
갑자기 키고
super realistic.
싶다 해가지고.
그럼 그때 저랑 지민이랑 진대하고 있었거든요.
우리도 진대 중이었어. 키고 싶다 해가지고.
그럼 그때 저랑 지민이랑 진대하고 있었거든요.
저랑 지민이랑 진대하고 있었거든요. So at the time, probably while these three guys were having a live stream, 저랑 지민이랑, Jimin and I were having 진대. So 진대 means 진솔한 대화, 진지한 대화. So it's an abbreviation. A serious talk or deep talk, an honest talk.
우리도 진대 중이었어.
But Jin goes, we were in the middle of a deep conversation as well.
진대하다 갑자기 라이브 켜야겠대.
진대하다가, so we were having a deep conversation, then suddenly we wanted to go live.
그래서 아니 셋이 만나 무슨 진대를?
그러니까.
우리
이
근데
셋은 진단 무슨 진대?
무슨
그거 나 진짜
진짜 거짓말.
삼겹살 내가
So basically,
무슨 그거 나 아니 셋이 만나 무슨 진대를?
그러니까.
우리
이
근데
셋은
this is so funny. J-Hope, RM, and Jimin had a exact same question. And J-Hope was the one who asked that question. 근데 셋이서 만나면 무슨 진대를 해요? What kind of deep talk do you three of you guys even have when you get together?
진단.
It was like a chain reaction.
그래서 아니 셋이 만나 무슨 진대를?
그러니까.
그러니까,
근데
yeah,
이 셋은 진단.
that's right. 그러니까, RM says. And then Jimin repeats J-Hope's question.
무슨 진대?
무슨 그거 나
What kind of a deep talk or serious talk you guys have when three of you guys get together? Referring to Jungkook, V, and Jin. And Jin starts laughing crazy.
진짜 거짓말하지.
삼겹살 내가 삼겹살 가격이 한다. 진대가 되는 조합이가?
While V and Jungkook are just sitting there.
내 진대를 하고 있다고.
삼겹살에 미워 넣을 줄 알지.
뻥치지 마.
형이 제일 싫어하는 게 진짜대요.
삼겹살에 미워 넣을 줄 알지.
아 우리도 한두 시간 정도 진대해서
뻥치지 마.
그지?
뻥치지 마.
형이 제일 싫어하는 가격이 한다. 진대가 되는 조합이가?
내 진대를 하고 있다고.
삼겹살에
내가 삼겹살 가격이 한다. 진대가 되는 조합이가?
내 진대를 하고 있다고.
삼겹살에 미워 넣을 줄 알지.
뻥치지 마.
형이 제일
Jimin says, 뻥치지 마, stop lying. And the reason why they're acting this way and the reason why Jin is reacting this way, laughing, is because J-Hope says, 형, you're the one who hates serious talk.
싫어하는 게 진짜대요.
Serious talk is what you hate the most.
삼겹살에 미워 넣을 줄 알지.
아 우리도 한두 시간 정도 진대해서 그지?
We did talk seriously for 1 or 2 hours, Jin says.
아 우리 생각보다 우리 앨범 들으면서 보컬 얘기랑 콘서트랑 이런 거
While we were listening to our album, we talked about vocals and concerts.
얘기했지.
그래,
보컬 얘기.
녹음 얘기도 하고.
We were talking about recordings, JK says.
아니 왜 녹음 너무
근데
잘했어.
진영이 진짜
Yoongi says recordings were done so well.
너무 딱 녹음 얘기도 하고.
아니 왜 녹음 너무
근데
잘했어.
진영이
Yeah. Every time, I mean, these guys are going to talk about the album a lot in a few minutes. And every time they express their satisfaction with the upcoming album, I'm getting more and more excited. So here Yoongi said that the recordings were done really well.
진짜 너무 따뜻한 말 많이 해줘가지고.
어떻게 뭐라 했어?
V says Jinhyung said a lot of warm things. So many warm things.
궁금한데.
And RM says, what did he say? Jimin, I'm curious about this.
아,
넌 미원을 안 넣어도 돼.
V, never mind. But RM says, 미원을 안 넣어도 되겠다?
따뜻한 말 많이 해줘가지고.
어떻게 뭐라 했어?
이거 궁금한데.
아,
넌 미원을 안 넣어도 되겠다.
넌 미원을 안, so he's making fun of that 미원, the mistake again, MSG and seaweed stem thing.
이거 궁금한데.
아,
넌 미원을 안 넣어도 되겠다.
제가 마음이 되게
Teasing him.
따뜻한 사람이에요.
Jin says that is trying to defend himself. I am a warm-hearted person, jokingly.
안 말해줬네.
형 따뜻한 사람이.
J-Hope says, what did he tell you?
마음이 되게 따뜻해요.
알려드려요. 진영이
Tell him, RM says.
B에게
What did Jin say to V?
한 개만.
그냥 뭐.
You know,
딱 기억 별로 안 나는 것 같아요.
SUGA says, seems like you don't really remember.
아니라 스포가 될 수도 있을 것 같아.
But V clarifies why he's being careful. Because this could be a spoiler. It might be a spoiler.
뭐 어느 정도로 얘기를 했길래.
Like, how much did you guys say? RM wonders.
뭐 잘했다 녹음 이런 거?
Things like, you did well? J-Hope asked.
되게 좋았어요.
되게 좋았어요. It was very nice. Jin says. Either referring to V's recording or vocals or the deep conversation.
그
아,
얘기에
맞아.
Now Jungkook remembers. 맞아. Yeah. You're right.
문제들이 있었는데.
아 오케이. Yes. 뭔지 알겠어.
얘기에
맞아.
문제들이 있었는데.
아 오케이. Yes. 뭔지 알겠어.
그.
미안 안녕 우리끼리만 알았어.
근데 이게
아 오케이.
그
아,
얘기에
맞아.
문제들이 있었는데.
아 오케이. Yes. 뭔지
Okay, this is not something that we are able to understand at this point, unless you have superpower or you have secret knowledge. So RM says, okay, now I got it, now I understood. And then he said,
미안 안녕 우리끼리만 알았어.
미안해요, 우리끼리만 알았어. Sorry, this is something that we're understanding only ourselves, RM says.
근데 이게 진짜
지금 얘기하기 쉽지 않은 것들이 많지.
그러니까 이게
Jimin notes, yep, there are so many things that are hard to talk about right now.
나오면 근데 이게 진짜
지금 얘기하기 쉽지 않은 것들이 많지.
그러니까 이게 나오면 이제 다 해결되는 것들.
나 진짜 답답해 죽어버리겠어.
왜냐면 이제 우리 기준에
So notice how the mood changes. Beforehand, they were like making fun of, Jin and V, teasing them and trying to tell, asking V to, hey, what did Jin tell you? Say it. But then after V explains and clarifies, I cannot say much because this could be a spoiler. Now these guys all understood immediately and they're now on the same page. The way they speak and the way they're like nodding and stuff.
근데 이게 진짜
지금 얘기하기 쉽지 않은 것들이 많지.
그러니까 이게 나오면 이제 다 해결되는 것들.
나 진짜 답답해.
이게 다 나오면 다 해결되는 것들인데 once it comes out, all of these will clear up. 다 해결되는 것들인데 all of these will be resolved. Yeah, I probably know what SUGA is referring to. I don't want to... Probably referring to what people are talking about on social media, you know what I'm saying? Saying that these guys are not doing enough, but at the same time it's super complicated for them because they don't even know where to start because they're just not able to talk about stuff, which is something that is tormenting them at this point.
지금 얘기하기 쉽지 않은 것들이 많지.
그러니까 이게 나오면 이제 다 해결되는 것들.
나 진짜 답답해 죽어버리겠어.
왜냐면
나 진짜 답답해 죽어버리겠어. So it's seriously frustrating or killing me, RM says.
이제 우리 기준에선 한 3-4달 전에 다 끝난 것들인데
Because from our perspective, this was all finished 3 or 4 months ago, Jin says.
베네수엘라까지는 아니고.
3달,
Not that long, not 3 months, RM says.
3달 정도 됐지, 3달.
About 3 months, Jin says.
12월 달이니까.
Because it's December now.
아니에요.
아니야, 그 정도 안 됐어요.
그래? 그럼 2달로 하자.
Nope. 아니에요. No, it's not that long ago.
달도 안 됐어.
두 달도 안 됐어.
It's not. And Jin says that, okay, let's say 2 months. And they're saying it hasn't been 2 months even.
반 달로 하자.
너무
Then let's say 1 month. Jin.
아니 근데 우리 녹음이 거의 2달 전쯤에 끝난 거 아니야?
But didn't we finish recording almost 2 months ago? Jin says.
그 정도까지는 안 돼.
그 정도까지 아니고
그 정도까지 아니고. It wasn't that long.
2달 된 거 같다.
올해
About a month.
믹스하고.
그 정도까지는 안 돼.
그 정도까지 아니고
한 달?
한 달, 2달 된 거 같다.
올해 쪽 뒤에 계속 믹스하고.
We took a long time. So probably Jin is referring to when they were like recording in LA. So that was, when was it? They were in LA. August. August, September, October, November. Yeah. So it's been 3 months, about 3 months since they came back from LA. But still, recording probably happened in Korea as well. If you have watched, like for example, Jungkook's documentary, I Am Still. He recorded in, was it LA? And then he came back to Korea and he kept recording. So, yeah. Meaning, according to RM, they continued to work on the album and recordings and mixing and editing after they came back from LA.
맞네. 그거까지는 안 돼.
그 정도까지 아니고
한 달?
한 달, 2달 된 거 같다.
올해 쪽 뒤에 계속 믹스하고.
맞네.
믹스랑
아, 뒤에
마스터.
수정이랑 계속 했구나.
Yeah, so they did a lot of 수정, editing or revising.
계속 믹스하고.
맞네.
믹스랑
아, 뒤에
마스터.
수정이랑 계속 했구나.
Yep, so Jin realizes.
만들어진 게 그때.
이게 이제 뭐 픽스 곡들이
진짜
나온
픽스
게
정도죠? 픽스.
So 픽스 정도죠. So the songs were fixed 3 months ago.
유행이다.
맞네. 계속
픽스 곡들이
진짜 픽스 정도죠? 픽스.
유행이다.
믹스랑 뒤에 수정이랑 계속 했구나.
올해 쪽 뒤에 계속.
I'm trying to.
맞네.
믹스랑
아, 뒤에
마스터.
수정이랑 계속 했구나.
Okay, I didn't miss anything.
만들어진 게 그때.
이게 이제 뭐 픽스 곡들이
진짜 픽스 정도죠? 픽스.
유행이다.
맞네. 계속
Meanwhile, Jungkook is telling J-Hope that 말차가 유행인가 봐. 말차 is trendy nowadays. 말차. It's like, yeah, matcha in English. That's popular nowadays.
수정했구나.
Alright, back to the album talk.
계속했죠. 계속.
아, 맞네, 맞네.
가사 바꾸고 발음 바꾸고.
가사 바꾸고 계속했죠. RM says, yeah, we kept editing, changing the lyrics. 가사 바꾸고.
맞네. 계속 수정했구나.
계속했죠. 계속.
아, 맞네, 맞네.
가사 바꾸고 발음 바꾸고.
발음 바꾸고. I don't know what he said after 가사. 발음 바꾸고.
맞네. 계속 수정했구나.
계속했죠. 계속.
아, 맞네, 맞네.
가사 바꾸고 발음 바꾸고.
Okay, if I heard it correctly, 발음 means pronunciation. So, pronunciation could refer to both, Korean lyrics and English lyrics, because for recording, it's an important element, an important factor. So they continue to change lyrics and pronunciation potentially, which would require them to record again, right?
뭐 하여튼 많이 바뀌었지. 참
Yeah, a lot has changed. SUGA agrees.
많은 과정들이 있다. 이렇게.
이게
J-Hope, 참 많은 과정들이 있다. There are so many processes that have happened.
이게 다
쉽지 않아. It's not easy.
이게 안 나가니까 이게 우리만
우리만 알고 있는 거잖아.
SUGA, 이게 다 안 나가니까. And because none of this is out yet, only we know.
진짜.
그래서
괜찮아.
이게
거의 다 왔어.
조금 더 똑똑하게 갔어야 됐어. 근데 또 한번 겪었으니까 다음에 더 잘할 수 있어.
다음에 더 잘하면 되지.
네. 좀 더 똑똑하게 제작적으로 갔어야 됐어.
이게 뭐 우리가 가는 길이고 그렇지.
All right. So, they are basically empathizing with the fans or the public or those people who have expressed frustration because they were waiting too long without anything new coming out of BTS updates. So now let me translate what they said.
우리만 알고 있는 거잖아.
Yeah, again, SUGA said because none of this is out yet, released yet, only we know.
진짜
그래서
괜찮아 거의 다 왔어.
괜찮아, 거의 다 왔어. It's okay, we're almost there, RM says.
조금 더 똑똑하게 갔어야 됐어. 근데 또
Jimin said 조금 더 똑똑하게 갔어야 됐어. We should have been a bit smarter.
한번 겪었으니까
근데 또 한 번 겪었으니까, but since we went through it once,
다음에 더 잘할 수 있어.
다음에 더
다음에 더 잘할 수 있어. We can do better next time.
잘하면 되지.
다음에 더 잘하면 되지. We'll do better next time.
좀 더 똑똑하게 전략적으로 갔어야 됐어.
But still, we should have been more strategic. But V says in a very quiet manner, 뭐 이게 뭐 우리가 가는 길이 그렇지 뭐. That's just the path we are on. And I just love that. 우리가 가는 길이 뭐 그렇지 뭐. That's just the path we are on. It could be interpreted in multiple ways. Meaning, whatever they do, it's hard to satisfy everyone. You know what I'm saying? So I really love how V phrased it that way. Well, it kind of reminds me of that Kendrick Lamar songs. I can't please everybody. Yeah, it's impossible to please everybody. And my theory was that the majority of armies is patient, right? But these guys are empathizing with the frustration felt by the fans. And Jimin said they could have been a bit smarter and more strategic. Now, we can talk about that further on our own. I mean, from my perspective, some people might say that, what could they have done, really? I mean, like, they were communicating with the fans all the time. So what could they have done? And I was thinking the same thing while having dinner. I had an idea. Maybe they could have, and I'm not saying that they should have, but if we really try to brainstorm and think outside the box. You know how on social media sometimes armies get excited by a random Instagram account posting some mysterious photos and clips referring to the future comeback of BTS, and people are like, oh my god, is this a new secret mysterious account set up by Big Hit? We don't know for sure whether that's real or not. I'm pretty sure those are fan-made, trying to excite people. Maybe they could try something like that, Big Hit, creating that storyline. But who knows? Maybe that is something that's been made by Big Hit, and we're just not aware of it. Although I think those are fan-made, once again. But maybe that's something that they could have tried. And they could have done that more officially, letting everyone know, trying to direct them to that newly created storyline or something, and let everybody know that we are fairly sure that this is an official BTS / Big Hit materials, spoilers about the comeback. But to be fair, I don't know. This whole album, it's just like J-Hope said, they're having many processes. And in order to come up with a storyline or 세계관, like a world, universe, you need to know what exactly is going on. So I'm still thinking, what could they have done? What could they have done? I guess doing a live stream like this, OT7, more often, that could have been an option. But I don't know. There's no right or wrong answer. But I'm curious as to what kinds of ideas Jimin was thinking about when he said we should have been more strategic, or we should have been a bit smarter. And RM says we can do better next time. We'll do better next time. Of course, it will be better and smoother next time because that will be their like second comeback, third comeback, and fourth comeback since the military discharge. But we are talking about the first comeback after the military discharge. And again, like I discussed in the past, Big Hit could have prepared everything in advance while these guys were serving in the military. And then, hey guys, we had this amazing songs produced by world-class producers, and let's get right into it. Just record and boom, boom, boom. We're going to release everything in a week. Technically, they could. But, again, BTS is a very organic group where these guys put their hearts into their own songs, lyrics, even little details as like pronunciation and cadence. So I don't know. We can continue to have this conversation, but I just wanted to say add my own thoughts at this point. But once again, we cannot please everybody, and at the same time, I appreciate the fact that BTS is trying to, or is empathizing with those fans who are disappointed. Maybe they're referring to other people other than fans. Who knows? Investors? Who knows? But that's what it is. Okay, let's move on.
앞쪽으로 갔어야 됐어.
이게 뭐 우리가 가는 길이고 그렇지.
Yep. Once again, V said, 뭐 이게 뭐 우리가 가는 길이 뭐 다 그렇지 뭐. That's just the path we are on. These guys. 멋진데? That's super cool. I love it. Yeah, sure. V really dropped that. It was a mic drop moment. I just realized.
앞쪽으로 갔어야 됐어.
이게 뭐 우리가 가는 길이고 그렇지.
멋진데? Super cool. So the song that J-Hope was singing is a classic song by G.O.D. G.O.D. Kill, right? Title, Road or Way. So it's a classic song that these guys know. Released in 2001.
나 최근에
So these guys were impressed by what V just said. Trying to listen one more time to what Jin says something while chewing, so it was inaudible. But V says, 나 요즘 책 읽잖아. I've been reading nowadays. 너 다시 책 시작했어? You started reading again? What are you reading?
그거 그러니까 6년째.
아니 근데 그거 많이 바뀌었어.
내가 이해
다시 책 시작했어?
여기 무슨 책 이거?
나 최근에
그거
RM says something inaudible.
시작했어?
여기 무슨 책 이거?
나 최근에
나이님? RM says something.
그거
And apparently it's funny.
그러니까 6년째.
아니 근데 그거 많이 바뀌었어.
내가 이해
많이 바뀌었어. V changed a lot.
되지도 않는 순간을 이해하라. 뭐 그런
내가 이해되지도 않은 순간을 이해하라. 내가 이해되지도 않는 순간을 이해하라. That's a book title. Okay. I don't think it is.
그 문상훈 형님께서 책을 하나 선물해.
문상훈 gave me a book as a gift. So 문상훈 is this guy whom we talked about during their first OT7 live after the military discharge, how he found Moon Sang-hoon's writing very touching, and he reached out to this guy on Instagram. And I don't know if it happened before or after that contact, but Moon Sang-hoon gave V a book as a gift. He wrote a book though. Maybe he's reading that. 내가 한 말을 내가 오해하지 않기로 함. Maybe he was referring to this. Because it's a long title. So maybe Mr. Moon gave him his own book.
안 되는 얘기하라 뭐 이런
내가 오해하지 않기로 한 것을 오해하지 않기로 함. 뭐 그거
내가 오해하지 않기로 한 말을 yeah. So RM remembers. Does it have an English translation? Okay, it doesn't. So I decided not to misunderstand what I said myself. So that's a rough translation of the book title. Anyways. So that's what V has been reading nowadays. Back to the live stream.
책 홍보하는 거 그거 방송에서 하는 거 시집
놀리는
나그 책 홍보하는 거 그거 방송에서 하는 거 시집
놀리는 거 그거 봤어요.
시집. So it's a poem collection. JK asked, but no, it's just a essay, collection of essays, if I remember correctly. That's me explaining because I don't think he heard Jungkook.
무슨 소리야?
나도 배우 누구 박태준 박태준 배우
아 맞다.
딱대에서
나 너무 웃기게 봤어.
So here they were talking about Moon Sang-hoon's YouTube channel. Moon Sang-hoon 바다너스 딱대. He's really a clever guy as a comedian, and he does this YouTube channel called 바다너스, BDNS, and they have a interview series with celebrities, and it's pretty funny. So they were talking about the specific content, 딱대. And again, V talked about, either V or RM talked about him during their OT7 live. Where was it? Not this one. But you know what I'm talking about. 내년 봄, July 1st.
어떤 유튜브에 나가게 될까?
이건 거의 밑가루
아니 요즘
Okay, here's an interesting question.
우리 과연 어떤 유튜브에 나가게 될까?
우린 과연 어떤 유튜브에 나가게 될까? What kind of YouTube channel are we going to be on? Meaning, once we have a comeback, right, to promote themselves.
이건 거의 밑가루
아니 요즘
V says, 이거 그냥 밀가루 수준 아니야? So he's holding that snack, complaining that this is basically a ball of flour, so nothing inside, whatever that is supposed to be inside.
에피카 형들 유튜브가 진짜 잘 되더라.
와그
거의 밑가루
아니 요즘
나 너무 웃기게 봤어.
우리 과연 어떤 유튜브에 나가게 될까?
So which YouTube show will we end up on? RM asked.
이건 거의 밑가루
아니 요즘 에피카 형들 유튜브가 진짜 잘 되더라.
와그
SUGA says, these days, Epic Hyungder's YouTube channel is doing really great. And yes, Epic High. They've been super active on YouTube. Wow, 1.5 million followers. Congratulations. Yeah, if you know BTS, you probably know Epic High as well because BTS guys, especially RM and SUGA, love them. They're like rap or hip hop role models. And Epic High, I'm a like a huge fan, and they also influenced me, especially Tableau. And in fact, a lot of you guys, my subscribers, mentioned that I sound like Tableau. Anyways, one of the regrets that I had as a fan was that these guys were super hilarious, but then for some reason their channel wasn't that big. But then starting this year or last year, they've been uploading like daily not daily, but funny contents, like entertainment contents. And they are just naturally funny, especially, I mean, all of these guys. So the subscriber base has been getting bigger and bigger. And that's what SUGA was talking about.
밑가루 소리가 아니야.
아니 요즘 에픽하 형들 유튜브가 진짜 잘 되더라고.
와, 그 너무 웃기는데요.
그러니까
And Jimin agrees. They were hilarious.
주변에서
너무 재밌어요. So funny.
그러니까
일본어로
너무 재밌던데.
그러니까
에픽하 형들 유튜브 많이 이야기해.
근데 왜 킹강이
너무 재밌던데.
그러니까
에픽하 형들 유튜브 많이 이야기해.
근데 왜 킹강이
그러니까
일본어로
너무 재밌던데.
그러니까
에픽하 형들 유튜브 많이 이야기해.
So they're talking about Epicai's channel all the time, SUGA says. And yes, SUGA is Epicai's longtime fan. Meanwhile, I was getting confused because JK and V were talking about this snack simultaneously.
그러니까
일본어로
너무 재밌던데.
뭐라고 그래?
그러니까 주변에서 아니 요즘 에픽하 형들 유튜브가 진짜 잘 되더라고.
와, 그 너무 웃기는데요.
그러니까 주변에서
Mika? What is Mika in Japanese?
주변에서 그러니까
일본어로
너무 재밌던데.
그러니까
에픽하 형들 유튜브 많이 이야기해.
Mika. Wait, Mika.
유튜브에 나가게 될까?
맞다.
딱대.
박태준
방송에서 한 시집 놀리는 거.
그거
나그 책 홍보하는 거.
오해하지 한 키로.
방송에서 한 시집 놀리는 거 그거 봤어요.
박태준
너무 웃기게 봤어요.
Yeah, I just noted that V has been into this snack for a long time.
어떤
에픽하 형들 유튜브가 진짜 잘 되더라고.
와,
이건 거의 밑가루 소리가 아니야.
아니 요즘
Mikaru. Okay, never mind. Maybe I heard it wrong. I thought he was saying that the snack is filled with like it's made of just like flour. But who knows? I should really chill with details. 17 minutes? I mean, I love it, but I'm just afraid that I'm not afraid, but you guys are good with watching long contents. But anyways.
에픽하 형들 유튜브가 진짜 잘 되더라고.
와, 그 너무 웃기는데요.
그러니까 주변에서 그러니까
일본어로
너무 재밌던데.
그러니까
에픽하 형들 유튜브 많이 이야기해.
근데 왜 킹강이
아니 그 형도 근데 20년 전에도 웃겼어.
정식이 형님.
그 형들은 20년 전에도 웃겼어. Those 형s were funny even 20 years ago, SUGA says.
그 형도 웃기죠 진짜. 나도 많이 들어요 요즘 에픽하이 형들.
J-Hope agrees. 그 형들 웃겨요. Those 형s are super funny. And yes, they were funny 20 years ago. It's just that their channel blew up this year significantly. J-Hope says, I've been watching the channel lately as well.
그 형들 원래 웃겼어.
아, 나는
SUGA said one more time. 그 형들 원래 웃겼어. They were originally funny.
어떤 유튜브를 나가게 될지.
호성 형이 거
RM asked again, what kind of YouTube show will we be on?
진짜 재밌게 보고 있다고.
성호 형님은
각자 한번 그것도 막 엄청 각자
나 지금 대화 주제가 1분에 한 번씩 바뀌어가지고 와 요즘 신세대들은 다르구나 이 생각하게 됐어.
Okay, Jin. I really appreciate that because I was going to say that. Jimin was talking about a different YouTube channel, like Hoseok 형님, Hoseok? YouTube channel. Is it this one? I don't know. I don't think this is it. Anyways, they were talking about another YouTube channel being done by a celebrity, and JK is excited about that.
내가 1분에 한 번씩
그것도 막
유튜브를 나가게 될지.
호성 형이 거 진짜 재밌게 보고 있다고.
성호 형님은
각자 한번 그것도 막 엄청 각자
나 지금 대화 주제가 1분에
Yeah, basically it's super popular. And then Jin says 지금 대화 주제가 1분씩
한 번씩 바뀌어가지고
the topic changes every minute, every single minute.
와 요즘 신세대들은 다르구나 이 생각하게 됐어.
And I was thinking, wow, the new generation is different.
이게 트렌드. 요즘 세상이 이렇게 빨리 바뀌고 있다니까요.
Jimin says, 이게 트렌드예요. This is the trend nowadays. The world is changing this fast.
이거 되게 큰 문제야. 하나를
저녁 뭐 먹을
선택하기.
거야?
Surprisingly, Jimin does look serious while he's saying this. 이게 되게 큰 문제야. This is a big issue. The world is changing too fast. That's a big issue. And
이거 되게 큰 문제야. 하나를
저녁 뭐
선택하기.
먹을 거야?
나 지금 대화를 못 따라.
Okay, now I got why they were laughing. So while Jimin was preaching, the world is changing super fast, and this is a big issue. And meanwhile, JK was waiting to say this one line while looking straight into Jimin's face.
큰 문제야. 하나를
저녁 뭐 먹을
침착하게.
거야?
형 저녁 뭐 먹을 거야? What are you gonna eat for dinner? Changing the topic once again.
전혀? 나 지금 대화를 못 따라가고
What a comedian JK is.
있었어. 주제가 너무 빨리 바뀌어가지고.
Jin says, I cannot even keep up because the topic is changing so continuously.
생각해볼까요?
각자 7개를 이렇게 나갈 수 있어요.
맞아, 크리스마스.
SUGA says something like, everybody's talking at once. And we have like 7 topics going on.
안 해요?
뭐야?
크리스마스.
안 해요?
그래서
안 해요?
뭐야?
크리스마스.
Christmas. Are we not doing it for Christmas?
그래서
그래서, so, JK, ask, bringing the topic back.
그래서 저녁 뭐 먹을 거야?
RM, so what are you gonna eat for dinner? RM ask.
아니
너무
Okay, now it's getting super chaotic.
아니 원래 정국이가 스키야키를 먹기로 했는데 못 먹을 것 같아 정국아. 나 배가 너무 불러 지금. 스키야키. 지금 몇 시인데?
Okay, are we really on to the dinner topic now? SUGA says, originally, Jungkook and I,
정국이가 스키야키를 먹기로 했는데. 아니 원래 정국이가 스키야키를 먹기로 했는데 못 먹을 것 같아 정국아. 나 배가.
we were supposed to eat sukiyaki for dinner. It's a Japanese sukiyaki. Right, sukiyaki. But now we are so full. So Jungkook, I don't think we can eat it.
너무 불러 지금. 스키야키.
And Jungkook agrees.
몇 시인데? 스키야키를 못 먹어요?
What time is it right now? Jin asks.
맛있게 먹으러 가려고.
아니 아까
잘한다.
아까 스키야키 이야기 해가지고 예약을 했는데 못 갈 것 같아.
나
So J-Hope asked about their plan, and SUGA says that, yeah, we were talking about it, and we already made a reservation.
아까 스키야키 이야기 해가지고 예약을 했는데 못 갈 것 같아.
못 갈 것 같아, but we don't think we can make it because we're too full.
왜냐면 흑백요리사 언제 나오냐 다음 거?
Oh God. RM says, 흑백 요리사 다음 거 언제 나오냐? The Culinary War Netflix series. 요리사. The next episode. So season 2 came out recently. Culinary Class Wars. So when are the next episodes coming out? RM asked. Once again, change the topic.
이거 라이브 하는
나 왜냐면 흑백요리사 언제 나오냐 다음 거?
왜냐면 이거 라이브 하는
나 왜냐면 흑백요리사 언제 나오냐 다음 거?
왜냐면 이거 라이브 하는
Okay, this is way too inaudible, but they were eating stuff.
저희가 또 어디 미팅을 하고 갔다 왔는데
거기서 뭘 먹어가지고.
거기서 뭘 먹어.
밥을 줬어 거기서.
Okay, now this is pretty significant.
어디
왜냐면 흑백요리사 언제 나오냐 다음 거?
왜냐면
JK explaining to us.
이거 라이브 하는 전에 저희가 또 어디 미팅을 하고 갔다 왔는데
So before we did this live stream, we went to a meeting,
거기서 뭘 먹어가지고.
and then he gave that sign, like almost as if he's trying to say, you know what I mean. And then somebody said, 거기서 뭘 먹어가지고. We had something there. We ate something there.
라이브 하는 전에 저희가 또 어디 미팅을
Who said
하고
it?
갔다 왔는데
거기서 뭘 먹어가지고.
Yeah, SUGA said that.
거기서 뭘 먹어.
밥을 줬어 거기서. 그것도 큰 거.
밥을 주셔가지고. They gave us meals, Jin says.
큰 거. 큰 거.
그거 맛있다.
Oh, and then SUGA says, 큰 거 온다. Something big is coming.
뭐
And RM said it was delicious, and Jungkook says, 뭐
줬어 거기서. 그것도 큰 거 온다. 큰 거 온다.
그것도, and then he gave us that look, right?
그거 맛있다.
You know, and
뭐
뭐, yeah. So the chances are, they filmed probably how do you say that in English? In Korean we say CF, commercial. That's my theory. Commercial for like a food brand. Probably. That's my idea. That's my guess. Based on the way they were hinting at stuff, and you know the gestures that Jungkook made, and what SUGA just said. 큰 거 온다. 그것도 그거. That one is big too. That was big too.
답답해 죽겠지 그냥.
너무 답답하다.
입이 그냥 옴짝달싹 해가지고 그냥.
우리가
And plus, RM says 답답해 죽겠지. is so frustrating, right? Meaning 답답하다. The fact that you cannot say it. And Jungkook agrees.
답답해 죽겠지 그냥.
너무 답답하다.
너무 답답하다. So frustrating.
그냥 옴짝달싹 해가지고 그냥.
우리가
Because you cannot say it.
나가지 않았지만 일을 꽤 많이
윤기야!
했는데.
And Jin explains. 우리가 나가기는 않지만 일을 엄청 많이 했었잖아. Even though it not much has been released yet, we have been doing a lot of work.
옴짝달싹 해가지고 그냥.
우리가 나가지 않았지만 일을 꽤 많이
윤기야!
했는데.
Yeah, 꽤 많이 했는데. We have done a lot of stuff. And that explains the gap between the reality, like what BTS has been doing, and frustration felt by some fans. Now, I have already talked enough about this topic in one of my previous videos. Again, I personally am not impatient at this point, and I believe that the majority of armies is super patient and glad about what they have been, doing and providing, and what we have been receiving from them in terms of contents and updates. But after all, these guys are frustrated as well because they want to tell the world what they have been doing, but they cannot, right?
야, 윤기야, 이제 손톱 물어 뜯지 마.
아무것도 없는데?
Now, on to a different topic. V noted somebody wrote in the chat, Yoongi, stop biting your nails. And yes, I saw some people talking about it during their latest live stream or after their latest live stream. Where was it? The practice room. And some people were concerned about it because of SUGA's like habit.
와, 형 많이 물었던데.
This was funny.
이제 손톱 물어 뜯지 마.
Yoongi, stop biting your nails.
아무것도 없는데?
안 물었던데? I didn't bite anything.
와, 형 많이 물었던데.
But RM says, 형, you really bit a lot of your nails. Or you bite your nails a lot.
아무것도 하니까 아무것도 들었으면
진짜 형 이게
대고만.
And SUGA is denying, no, I didn't. And JK and Jimin found the interaction that just happened hilarious.
나안 물어뜯었어.
많이 뜯었는데.
Basically replaying what just happened. SUGA saying, I didn't bite anything. But then RM, without missing a beat, making an observation. Wow, 형, you bite your nails a lot.
근데 형 이게
SUGA says, 대고만 있었어. I was just having my thumb in front of my mouth.
근데 왜 대고만 있어요?
But Jungkook says, why were you even doing that? 왜 대고만 있어요? Why were you putting your finger or thumb or nail on the top of your lips?
이거 느낌 좋아 되게.
Because it feels good, SUGA says.
이게 느낌 좋아.
울퉁불퉁해. It's bumpy. It's really bumpy.
울퉁불퉁하다.
이제는요 평평하다 평평한.
아무것도 넣어 나 이거 대고만 있어 이렇게.
Oh gosh. It's a meme. 평평하. It's a meme where Kani, while she was learning Korean, she created this random song. Well, you know how when you learn a foreign language, if you make a song out of it, it becomes easier to memorize. And this became a meme. Pretty funny. And nowadays, every time you hear a phrase or somebody use the word 울퉁불퉁하다, like bumpy, or 평평하다, flat, out of nowhere they start singing this song that she made. And recently we have learned that it's a meme that RM is aware of. He mentioned it in one of his comments that he wrote in response to a fan post on Weverse community.
우리 아저씨가 아니 나이가
But Jungkook says, 우리 아저씨 같다. We are like a 아저씨, old man, old guys now.
나이가 이제 내년에 34인데.
SUGA.
우리 아저씨가 아니 나이가 이제 내년에 34인데.
나이 means age. Hey, I'm now 34.
나이는 숫자 누가 해? 형.
Oh, so he's trying to explain.
내년에 34인데. 아직도 손 들고 있으면
나이는 숫자 누가 해?
Okay. So SUGA is really explaining that he wasn't really biting his nails. I'm 34. I'm this old. If I am still biting my nails, wouldn't it be so strange? So, yeah, I think at this point, fans should trust him.
누가 해? 형.
야뭐 다들 뭐
아직도 손 들고 있으면
나이는 숫자 누가 해? 형.
나이는 숫자에 불과해. Age is just a number.
야뭐 다들 뭐 40이야? 50이야? 60이야?
야 우리 아직
30이야?
야 우리 아직 찬성해.
But I think there's a slight miscommunication here because when Jungkook says that we sound like 아저씨, like old guys, it's because they were talking about this meme all of a sudden, maybe. But SUGA, the reason why he brought up his age, 34, again, was to trying to explain that he really wasn't biting his nails. But now we're on to the topic of age.
미딥스를 이렇게 하면 기분 좋다.
지명 곧 60이잖아.
야 우리 숫자 누가 해? 형.
야뭐 다들 뭐 40이야? 50이야? 60이야?
야 우리 아직
30이야?
야 우리 아직
Hey, you guys, are you 30, 40? No, sorry.
다들 뭐 40이야? 50이야? 60이야?
야 우리
Are you 40, 50, 60?
아직 30이야?
We're still in 30s.
찬성해. 미딥스를 이렇게 하면
창창해, we're still in our prime.
지명 곧 60이잖아.
Meanwhile, SUGA is talking about his lips, but then
우리 아직 30이야. 야 우리 아직 찬성해.
미딥스를 이렇게 하면 기분 좋다.
지명 곧 60이잖아.
진영 곧 60이잖아. JK makes fun of Jin. Jin, you are soon to be 60.
내 나이는 그 하루에 1년씩 늘어가는 것 같아.
It seems like my age increases by a year every day, referring to the fact that these guys are making fun of him. I know some fans, a lot of people have different opinions about them joking about their age. It's really a common topic of, joke in Korea, making fun of each other. It's not that offensive. I know there's a huge difference in culture because I experienced different cultures while studying abroad. So it could be pretty offensive in the States, for example. So in Korea, some people might find it offensive, but it's just a, good-natured, is a playful joke. Personally, maybe because I studied abroad, I do not really find it funny, but I'm just trying to provide context. And fun fact, for those of you who are still staying with me, I am in the same age as one of these guys. So that's a fact that I never told you before. But I personally do not think about my age because just like J-Hope says, age is just a number. But I don't know. I think they will continue to make fun of each other using age as a topic. So if you find it offensive, just, it's like a Korean thing. So anyways, back to the regular program.
60진
I need you be.
아 지금 나와서 춤추는 거. 아 진짜 꼴보기 싫어.
잘 나오고 있냐? 나는 모니터도 보지도 못하고 있어.
여기서 좀 보세요. 보여줄까?
RM, so there's a delay between the real-time Weverse and the monitoring, what they see on the monitor themselves, right? And RM just saw himself dancing this,
이제는 평평하다.
and he said, "Oh gosh, I look so annoying." 꼴 보기 싫다.
50이야? 60이야?
내 나이는
잘 나오고 있냐? 나는 모니터도 보지도 못하고 있어.
And J-Hope says that, "Are we on properly? I haven't been able to see the monitor."
여기서 좀 보세요. 보여줄까?
So they're handing over the device to J-Hope.
갑자기 일어났어? 너무 바지에 넣었다 이거. 너무 배만지. 아 여기 이쁘다 여기.
그니까.
이거 되게 이쁜데?
또 우리
J-Hope just realized how pretty this room is, the studio.
스태프분들이 열심히 꾸며주셔가지고 감사합니다.
RM says, our staff decorated it so well. Thank you so much.
아니 되게 코디한데?
So cozy.
컨시너지 팀이 잘해.
하겠다고.
The staff, the team is so good. It's pretty good, Jin says.
아니 되게 코디한데?
아니 컨시너지 팀이 잘해.
Oh, it's SUGA who said that. Contingency team?
감사합니다. 아니 되게 코디한데?
아니 컨시너지 팀이 잘해.
하겠다고.
Yeah, the team and the staff who are supposed to decorate like this, they are good. SUGA compliments.
모르지. 뭐 어떻게 된 거예요?
진짜 잘해가지고.
어제 유명하라 그랬죠.
약간 근데 아니야 너무 시기상조다.
왜?
V. I see V is doing this a lot. And I appreciate that. Is trying to bring these guys back to a topic where they can jointly talk about like BTS or the future projects. Because here he was trying to say something, but then added 시기상조다. Maybe it's too early.
뭐 하고 싶어?
내가 무슨 얘기
RM says, what? What do you want to do? Or what do you want to say? But Jin says,
할 거면 혹시 나한테 귓속말 한번 해줘. 싫어요. 알았어.
hey Taehyung, if you want to say something, can you whisper it to me first? And V says, 싫어요. No.
그
And 알았어. Okay, Jin says, 알았어.
내년 한 1, 2월쯤에
내년 한 2월쯤에 next year around January or February,
좀 스포 좀 해야겠다.
I want to give away some spoilers.
그래 이게 너무 기다리니까
And JK seems to agree.
스포를 좀 하자. 우리.
The waiting is too long, so let's give some spoilers.
간단한 거 하나 하자.
뭐
한
할까요?
곡만
Let's do something simple. 간단한 거.
이게 너무 기다리니까 스포를 좀 하자. 우리.
간단한 거 하나 하자.
Jin agrees. Let's do something simple.
뭐
한
할까요?
곡만 그냥 먼저 불러버리자 우리가.
JK. 한 곡만 먼저 불러버리자. Let's just sing one of our songs ourselves. Let's sing it first.
그럴까?
지금 할래?
그럴까? Should he? RM says. Jimin goes. 지금 할래? Then should he do it now?
그래 이거는 자 이거면 동시에 해서
근데 이제
Okay, that just happened.
모자라는
근데 조만간 공지 나가.
We just sounded stupid, RM says. Interesting. So that laughing thing was simultaneously done by RM, Jimin, V, and JK at the same time.
자 이거면 동시에 해서
So maybe there's a, like a sound of laughter in one of their tracks. Who knows? We'll have to see. But that was interesting.
근데 이제
그냥 좀 모자라는
근데 조만간 공지 나가나? 뭐 어떻게 되지?
Okay, that also happened. Meanwhile, SUGA says 조만간 공지 나가나? 어떻게 되지? Will an announcement about to go out? Are we going to make an announcement soon? How will it go? SUGA wonders. Meanwhile, JK, Jimin, and V is doing that
공지 나가나? 뭐 어떻게
breath thingy.
양치했어요?
Okay, that's clearly a spoiler. And all of a sudden, J-Hope asks, have you brushed your teeth? 양치했어요?
저 완전 했죠. 밥을까지.
너 먹고
Yes, I did. I also gargled.
했는데
이제
Huh. I'm pretty sure there are tons of theories coming out on social media. Right now, maybe that's the sound that you make while having something spicy or while you are, like freezing in the cold weather. Who knows?
이제 쓸 뭐가 이제 나올 때가 됐.
Yeah, J-Hope. That was probably a spoiler given by J-Hope
되지 않나? 이제
because the way V is laughing and the way JK is trying to suppress his laughter.
이제 쓸 뭐가 이제
지금 뭐 먹고 하긴 했는데.
양치했어요?
양치했어요? Have you brushed your teeth?
저 완전 했죠.
Alright, let's observe their expressions in response to J-Hope.
뭐 먹고 하긴 했는데.
이제 쓸 뭐가 이제 나올 때가 되지 않았나? 이제 뭔가 발버대가 이럴 때가 되지 않았나 이제?
이제 뭐 나올 때가 되지 않았나? Doesn't it feel like it's about time for something to come out? Like, isn't it time for some kind of announcement?
나오겠지.
넌 뭐든 풀리겠지.
그럼 뭐라도 하려고 제가 켜봤어요. 사실.
풀어줘라 좀.
제가
이제 곧 나오겠지. It will come out soon.
할 수 있는 게
않나 이제?
곧 나오겠지.
곧 나오겠지. It will come out soon.
뭐든 풀리겠지.
그럼
Jin says, 뭐든 풀리겠지. Something will come out. Anything will come out soon.
뭐라도 하려고 제가 켜봤어요. 사실.
풀어줘라 좀.
제가 할 수
좀 풀어줘라 좀. Jimin says, please release. A bit. Please release a bit.
있는 게 없어가지고.
좀 풀어.
할 수 있는 게 없어가지고. Honestly, there's nothing we can really do.
풀어줘.
Jimin says that one more time. Just 풀어줘. 풀어줘. So 풀다 means release. So please release. Probably announcements or spoilers or trailers or photos, whatever.
광고들도 뭐
근데
찍는다면서
원래
그렇게 나가고 이러니까.
원래 이제 연말에 우리가
Jin says something like 광고, advertisement, or commercial. So to provide a bit of context why things are delayed. And, you know, we're talking about the, music as part of the business, right, and industry. So there are elements that artists might find frustrating, but there are also, processes that have to take place, like logistics, deals, contracts, right? So naturally, there are gaps between, how fans feel and how artists feel and the reality. And I used to only think from the perspective of musicians and fans back in the day. But as I get older and as I learn about, businesses and, different industries, I learned that there are a lot of things that regular fans do not know about. So, and these are things that a lot of people find frustrating. And that is the case for these guys as well. But yeah, waiting is part of that game that we are on right now. And
광고들 뭐
근데
찍는다면서
원래
그렇게 나가고 이러.
뭐라도 하려고 제가 켜봤어요.
so, but to try to, sorry, is this getting buggy because it's getting too long? But anyways,
풀어줘라 좀.
제가 할 수 있는 게 없어가지고.
좀 풀어줘.
they turned this live stream to communicate with the fans so that basically to empathize with the fans, right?
광고들도 뭐
근데
찍는다면서 그렇게 나가고
원래
이러니까.
원래 이제 연말에 우리가 그래도 뭘 하려고 했었나? 우리 했었잖아요.
보통
V says, at the end of the year, did we plan to do something? V asked. 보통은 뉴욕 가 있었지. Usually we were in New York, Yoongi says.
했었잖아요.
보통은
했었지.
나 얘기할게.
Yes, we did, JK said. So while they were active before the military service, they did.
기회가 있을 거야.
그러니까.
그러니까 뭔가를 우리는 지금 하고 있잖아.
Yeah, rocking in the eve.
근데 그걸 얘기를 못하는 게 너무 답답해.
아, 근데 다음 주에
JK said, 근데 뭔가를 우리는 지금 하고 있잖아. We are doing something right now, but not being able to talk about it is really frustrating.
보통은
했었지.
나 얘기할 기회가 있을 거야.
그러니까.
RM says, 다 얘기할 기회가 있을 것 같아. I think there will be a chance to talk about everything. So this is what is frustrating me. Like, wait. Isn't it natural to be aware of what must be going on behind the curtain? You know what I'm saying? Do you understand my frustration? The way they are like expressing their frustration for the fact that they are not able to talk about stuff. I don't know. Again, everybody is built differently. Maybe, some people have high level of patience. Some people don't. Who knows? Let's get back.
그러니까 뭔가를 우리는 지금 하고 있잖아. 근데 그걸 얘기를 못하는 게 너무 답답해.
아 근데
몇 달째 하고 있으니까.
다수처럼 요새 꽤 했다 아이가?
그렇지. 그렇지.
교차하고 있지.
맞다 아이가.
맞다 아이가? 다수처럼 요새 꽤 했다 아이가?
근데 그걸 얘기를 못하는 게 너무 답답해.
아 근데
몇 달째 하고 있으니까.
다수처럼 요새 꽤 했다 아이가?
단체 촬영 요즘 꽤 했다 아이가? We've been doing a lot of group shoots lately, right? Group shoots, 촬영, so maybe group contents, whatever that may be. So again, there's a delay between when they film something and when it gets released. And some fans want these guys to be active, doing OT7 Weverse Live right after filming group contents. I think that's the level of dedication those people want from them.
그렇지. 그렇지.
교차하고 있지.
맞다 아이가.
맞다 아이가?
뭐 세그러.
So all of a sudden they're using their dialects.
뭐야?
세그러도.
시고 상큼하고 약간 그런 거. 사투리.
Jin asks, what is it supposed to mean? It means something fresh, something sour. 세그러도.
뭐 세그러.
세그럼도가 뭐야?
세그러도. Probably standard version would be 싱그럽다. Something fresh.
시고 상큼하고 약간 그런 거.
Yeah, something sour, refreshing. Kind of like that.
우리
그런 단어가 있어.
달방 때
그런 단어가 있어? Is there a word like that?
달방 때 촬영에서 그 사투리 어디 지역인지 맞추는 거 뭐 그런 거 있었거든.
So back during Run BTS, we had that thing where we wore something and guessed which region the dialect was from.
그렇다 맞추는데 남준이 맞추고 나서 세그럼노. 세그럽다 맞추는데.
And the word was like something like 세그럽다, and then Namjoon got it right, and he went.
촬영에서 그 사투리 어디 지역인지 맞추는 거 뭐 그런 거 있었거든. 세그럽다 맞추는데 남준이 맞추고 나서 세그럼노.
And RM went like, oh, 세그럽노.
아니
그렇게 해야 될것 같아.
까불락거리다도 사투리더만.
까불락거리다?
까불락거리다. Turns out that is also dialect.
까불거리다.
까불락거리다 아니야? 까불락거리다.
까불거리다, meaning fooling around. The dialect version is 까불락거리다.
까불락거리지 마라. 그러니까 이런.
까불락거리지 마라.
사투리더라고.
Stop fooling around.
까불락대지 마라. 까불락거리지 마라. 뭐 세그럼노.
블루베리 스무디도 사투리인데.
아니죠.
그건 영어지.
What just happened? RMs ask, then is blueberry smoothie also dialect? And SUGA answers, no, that's English.
블루베리 스무디.
영어잖아.
그건 영어잖아. That's English.
블루베리 스무디.
I'm just being funny. The way he says it sounds like a dialect. Blueberry smoothie.
등킨드나 스무 맞나?
킹드라스 무 맞아.
아니 근데 지금 애매한 게 나도 이제 집에 이제 부모님이랑 같이 있으니까.
Alright, now we are on to the topic of dialects, Korean dialects. SUGA says,
사파티지.
부모님이랑 있으면 사투리가 는다? 근데 또 밖에서 이렇게 사투리를 좀 쓰면 요즘은 그 기준치가 너무 높나 봐.
so he says, it's kind of 애매한 게 ambiguous. When I live, 이제 wait.
근데 또 밖에서 이렇게 사투리가 있으니까.
사파티지.
부모님이랑 지금 애매한 게 나도 이제 집에 이제 부모님이랑 같이 있으니까.
Oh, okay. Since I live with my parents now,
사파티지.
부모님이랑 있으면 사투리가 는다?
my dialect comes back when I'm with them. So my dialect improves, literally.
근데 또 밖에서 이렇게 사투리를 좀 쓰면
But when I use dialect outside,
요즘에 그 기준치가 너무 높나 봐.
people's standards are so strict these days. What does it mean? Let's find out.
그 서울 사람들이 사투리는 그렇게 하는 거 아니다라고.
So people from Seoul say that's not how dialect works to SUGA.
그래서 좀 어이가 없더라고.
So I was dumbfounded because Seoul people do not really have a dialect.
훈수를 두는구나.
So there, 훈수를 두는구나, RM says. So I guess the Seoul people now are teaching you a lesson or telling you what to do, how to do it.
아니 그 되게 오버해야지 사투리인 줄 알고.
근데
And SUGA says they think you have to exaggerate a lot for it to count as dialect.
옛날 그런 게 있어요. 친구들 만나서 이제
Jimin says this happens always.
하루 정도 있으면은
If I meet friends for about a day,
완벽하게 다시 사투리가 입력이 되거든요.
my dialect gets fully reinstalled.
그 앞에서 얘기하고 있으면은 한 며칠 지나도 너는 지금 완벽히 서울말을 구사하고 있다 이렇게 얘기해요.
And if I'm talking in front of people there with my friends, even after several days, they will say, you are speaking perfect Seoul dialect right now, the standard Korean. That's what they say.
사투리 쓰고 있는데도.
Even though I am using dialect.
아무튼
나 사투리 까먹었어.
지역 감
Anyway, RM says, SUGA, 사투리 까먹었어. No, not SUGA. J-Hope says.
쓰고 있는데도.
아무튼
나 사투리 까먹었어.
Yeah, SUGA, J-Hope is from Gwangju. He says, I forgot my dialect.
감정 좋지 않아요.
지역 감정은 아니고요.
RM says, 지역 감정 좋지 않아요. Regional bias isn't good. And Jimin denies this is not about regional bias or regional, I don't know, conflict or rivalry.
요즘에도 지역 감정이 있나?
요즘에도 지역 감정이 있나? Is there a thing like that nowadays?
감정 좋지 않아요.
지역 감정은 아니고요.
모두가 다
지역 감정이 있나?
Yeah, so one thing that is very special about BTS is that even though these guys are all from different regions, they are just one BTS and one love without 지역 감정, regional bias. 지역 감정? Which used to be a thing in Korea, and it was used to be a huge social problem, like how people from one region hate people from another region. There are specific, like cities, but nowadays that tendency has gone down a bit, which is great. Now, a new trend, not a trend, a new social issue is conflict between generations, like old generation and young generation. But thankfully or fortunately, that regional bias has gotten better, more resolved nowadays.
우리는 하나의 대한민국.
우리는 하나의 대한민국. We are one Korea, RM says.
한두 시간이면 가는데.
한두 시간이면 가는데. Yeah, it only takes 1 or 2 hours to get to anywhere within Korea.
대구가 많이 덥긴 해요.
근데 he's trying to say something and everybody is watching him like, okay? And he says, 대구가 많이 덥긴 해요. But 대구 really is hot.
대구 덥긴 하더라.
부럽다. 나 그런데 형 결혼식장 갔다 진짜 충분했잖아. 나 진짜 결혼식에 진짜
And Jin says,
부럽다. 나 그런데 형 결혼식장
I'm jealous. I love a place like that. Somewhere hot.
갔다 진짜 충분했잖아. 나 진짜 결혼식에 진짜 너무 추웠어. 아니 결혼식이래.
대구
군대
사람들
가서
거의
너무
무식 있지
추웠어.
않아?
When I was in the military, I was freezing, Jin says.
나 결혼식이야.
And he mistakenly, he made a mistake saying 결혼식, wedding, when he was trying to say military.
그대로 통과되더라.
이잖아.
아니 절반은 서울 살고 절반은 대구 살고 이제 군대에서 너무 추웠어 위쪽이. 나 결혼식에 진짜 너무 추웠어. 부럽다. 나 그런데 형 결혼식장 갔다 진짜 충분했잖아. 나 진짜 결혼식에 진짜 너무 추웠어. 부럽다. 부럽다. 나 형 결혼식장 갔다 진짜 충분했잖아. 나 진짜 결혼
형 결혼식 갔다가
근데 대구 덥긴 하더라.
네. 한두 시간이면 가는.
근데 대구가 많이 덥긴 해요.
근데 대구 덥긴 하더라.
부럽다. 형 결혼식장 갔다 진짜 충분했잖아. 나 진짜 결혼
So I'm trying to understand why Jin and Jungkook were laughing so hard by that mistake, Jin's mistake. So it turns out, after V said, Daegu is really hot, SUGA said, yeah, I almost died while attending my brother's, either my brother? No, Hyung's wedding. So someone's wedding. Probably because it was so hot there. And then as soon as Jin heard the word 결혼식, that was inserted into his brain. That's why he used that word instead of military.
결혼식에 진짜 너무 추웠어.
So,
부럽다. 형 결혼식장 갔다 진짜 충분했잖아. 나 진짜 결혼식에 진짜 너무 추웠어. 결혼식에.
대구
군대 가서
거의
너무
무식 있지 않아?
결혼식
나 결혼식에 가가지고 그대로 통과되네.
그대로 통과되네. Yeah, so that word automatically went through my brain and mouth.
이잖아.
아니 절반은 서울 살고 절반은 대구 살아가지고 이제 군대에서 너무 추웠어 위쪽이라.
근데 우리가 콘서트를 좀 서울 말고도 좀 했으면 좋겠는데.
와, 이 대화 주제가 너무 확
아마 할 수도 있...
Now we are on to the topic of concert or tour. V said, I wish we could do concerts outside Seoul more. So in addition to Seoul. And then G says, the topic changes though. So fast.
서울 말고도 좀 했으면 좋겠는데.
와, 이 대화 주제가 너무 확
아마 할 수도 있지 않아?
꿈꾸는 거 진짜 쉽지 않다.
아니 우리 꿈꾸다 보면 갑자기 여기 있다가 저기 있고 저기 있다 여기 있고.
와, 진짜 나 너무 당황스러워. 이게 신세대구나.
RM says, 할 수도 있지 않을까? Maybe we could. SUGA, meanwhile, agrees with Jin, saying that it's almost like we are dreaming. You know, at one point we are here, and the next moment we are here, we're there, then there.
가능한가요?
I get really...
여기 있다 여기 있고.
와, 진짜 나 너무 당황스러워.
Jin says, I get really flustered.
이게 신세대구나.
So this is the new generation.
가능한가요?
RM says, are you able to translate? Yeah, whoever was translating in real time, I don't know how they did. How was it though? How was the real-time translation? I am having fun because I enjoy these guys, you know, listening to these guys talk. But yeah, the topic changes were phenomenal.
안 될 것 같아.
안 되겠죠.
우리 하나의 주제로만 딱 얘기하자.
안 될 것 같아. It's probably not working out. And then RM says, oh, yeah, that's probably it. And they suggest.
통역 가능한가요?
안 될 것 같아.
안 되겠죠.
안 되겠죠.
하나의 주제로만 딱 얘기하자.
JK suggests, let's pick a topic and let's talk about it.
오케이.
자, 주제 하나 정해. 뭐야?
So let's pick a topic, J-Hope says.
주제 콘서트.
Concert.
콘서트 때 뭐 하고 싶어요?
먼저 얘기.
What do you want to do for concert? Okay, so we are moving from like locations to what they want to do. That's an interesting idea. Although, for K-pop idols, it's almost always Seoul or Incheon when it comes to like concerts in Korea, because especially for, you know, not high level, how should I phrase it? Okay, at least when it comes to HYBE label artists, most of them do concerts in Seoul only or Incheon before moving abroad, before they do tour abroad. Why? Because they have packed schedules. The global demand is super high. So we'll have to see. I'm pretty sure Korean fans will be delighted if BTS is coming to their respective cities. But then that means that global fans might have to wait longer. We'll see. But that was V's wish.
얘기할래? 예? 먼저 얘기할래?
콘서트.
콘서트 때 뭐 하고 싶어요?
먼저 얘기할래? 예?
So what do you want to do for a concert?
먼저
Would you like to speak first? RM suggests to J-Hope.
얘기할래?
뭐죠?
무슨 얘기를 할 수 있는지 내가 모르겠어가지고.
콘서트?
RM says that's because I don't even know what I'm allowed to talk about, what we're allowed to talk about. So that's why he asked J-Hope.
갑자기 내정지.
갑자기 뇌정지. All of a sudden he's experiencing a brain freeze.
마이크 색깔 바꿀 거야?
마이크 색깔을 바꿀까? Should we change the color of our mics?
그러면 그거 한번 물어보자. 콘서트
Let me ask this then.
바꿔야 되지 않을까?
콘서트 때 제일 보고 싶었던 곡을
빨리 물어봐 진짜.
팬분들한테
어?
Okay, at concerts, the song that you most want to see. They use the word 보고 싶은, see, but probably the song that the fans want to see them perform.
콘서트 때 제일 보고 싶은 노래.
So RM is asking the fans,
또 이제 모르
and how do you say that in English? V ask.
다니까 진짜 갑자기 라우더 댄 밤스 막 이렇게 나오다니까.
형 그걸 이제 영어로 하면은
또 이제 모르다니까 진짜 갑자기 라우더 댄 밤스 막 이렇게 나오다니까.
You never know. Suddenly people will suggest things like louder than the bombs. I love that song though. Super high pitched. Do I have it up here? No, that's We On. Anyways, I love that song.
형 영어로
But it would be probably tough to sing it live.
쉽지 않아.
The most missing song.
형 영어로
The most
쉽지 않아.
쉽지 않아. Ain't easy.
missing song. You know, you want to see in the at the concert.
So, what songs do you guys want to see us perform?
하실 거죠?
コンサートする
Run BTS.
時一番会いたいことを
Please saying that in Japanese.
おすすめください
Okay.
大家好，我是
That was Chinese.
왜 거기만 자기 소개가 되는 거야? 왜 항상 20살에 머물러 있냐고. 오랜만에 제대로 한번 해주면 안 돼?
마이크 드라.
These guys are laughing because that was V's introduction, official introduction in Chinese. And these guys are laughing, saying that why do you all of a sudden turn to your introduction when you start speaking Chinese? Because that's pretty much the only thing that V is able to say. And Jungkook suggests, why don't you do a proper introduction in Chinese this time?
왜 거기만 자기 소개가 되는 거야? 왜 항상 20살에 머물러 있냐고.
20살 means 20 years old. So why are you all of a sudden turning 20 years old when you start speaking Chinese? Because he learned it, his introduction when he was 20.
오랜만에 제대로 한번 해주면 안 돼?
마이크 드라.
올라오고 있어요. 마이크 드라.
아니 한 번만 얘기해봐.
사이퍼 스프링데이 랜디로.
JK kept insisting that V should remember and do it properly, but yeah, V decided not to. Perhaps he didn't remember. Meanwhile, fans were given suggestions.
아니 한 번만 얘기해봐.
마이크 드라.
올라오고 있어요.
Mic drop.
마이크 드라.
아니 한 번만 얘기해봐.
사이퍼 스프링데이 랜미노.
Cypher, let me know.
랜미는 진짜 오랜만이다.
파이트 파이퍼.
Pied Piper, Fake Love,
진짜 있네.
Louder Than Bombs.
스프링데이.
형
라우드 댄 밤스가 진짜라고 이게?
아니
아니 근데 내가 이야기해서 그런 거 같은데?
근데
That's probably because I said it, J-Hope says.
이거 막상 무대에서 하면 반응이 안 좋을 수도 있겠어.
But-
그럼 이제
네, 진짜.
그럼 이제
마이크
좋지
드랍.
않아.
But if we really do it on stage, the audience response might not be good, Jin says.
소주 마이크로코스모스.
근데 이제 우리
Microcosmos.
히트곡만 나야 돼도 뭐.
보니까 마이크랑 이야기도 많네.
마이크랑
Even if we just list our hit songs, it will be super long. There are a lot of suggestions for a mic drop.
웹세 우.
근데 이게 무슨
웹세
노래일
우.
수도 있어요.
그니까
Jimin says, I think they're talking about Louder Than Bombs again. So Jimin says to Jin, yeah, if you really perform that on stage, the audience might be like, what kind of song is this?
여기서 나도 가끔씩 좀 낯선 노래들이 있어. 예를 들어
하이드 파이퍼. 와.
SUGA, Even I sometimes hear our own songs that feel unfamiliar.
아 맞아 춤이 있었지.
There's a sorry.
웨이브
춤이 있었지.
아 맞아 춤이 있었지.
Jim remembers, oh, there was a choreography for a Pied Piper.
웨이브 하는 거 있잖아. 웨이브 하는 거.
Oh,
야 이런 게 기억이
와
나?
진짜
이게
stuff like that comes back to you?
이게 바로 안무용이야.
와 진짜 뛰어나긴 해.
레전드긴 하다.
That was legendary. The wave move.
오야.
아 이거 나중에 한번 호바 너 인스타 그 스토리에다가
그거 있지 않나?
설문조사 해가지고
맞아. 설문조사요?
You got the best.
J-Hope. So RM suggested J-Hope put it as a poll on Instagram stories, like a survey.
레꼬.
레꼬.
레꼬는 그 일본 오리지널 송.
Let Go the Japanese song.
아 그러네.
다양하다
난
버터플라이.
크리스탈 스노우도 좋아.
Crystal Snow.
아나 크리스탈 송 되게 좋아해.
버터플라이.
아니 얼마 전에 나 진짜 그 일본 오리지널 곡 되게 좋아해.
J-Hope says, I love our original songs in Japanese.
되게 좋아. 아니 얼마 전에 그 미팅 갔는데 노래
있는데요?
들어갈 때 트는데 텔레파시가 나오는데
커피.
텔레파시 너무 낯선
진짜
거야.
커피 뭐였지? 곡?
와 텔레.
So many things are going on at once. SUGA says, while we were going to our meeting, telepathy was playing. And it sounds,
텔레파시가 나오는데 텔레파시 너무 낯선 거야.
but it sounded so unfamiliar to me. I love that song though.
커피 뭐였지?
들어갈 때 맞아 되게 좋아. 아니 얼마 전에 나 진짜 그 일본 오리지널 곡 되게 좋아해. 맞아 되게 좋아. 아니 얼마 전에 그 미팅 갔는데 노래
있는데요?
들어갈 때 트는데 텔레파시가 나오는데 텔레파시 너무 낯선
진짜
거야.
커피 뭐였지? 곡?
와
완전 깜빡.
와
They were talking about coffee, the BTS song.
님들 그 노래.
그런 노래가 있는지도
그런 노래가 있는지도. I almost forgot we had a song like that.
근데
오케이 우리 졸업 한번 하자.
근데 그
졸업 한번 하자. We should perform graduation.
왜 학교에
근데 그 제 친구들
왜 학교에 왜 학교에 졸업 한번 하자.
근데 그
왜 학교에
To be honest, I don't really know what Jungkook said right here. Something about school, but the way he said it and the way these guys are laughing just made me laugh.
근데 그 제 친구들 중에 하루만 좋아하는 사람들 되게 많다.
Among my friends, there are a lot of people who love our song 하루만, only one day. Is that the official title? 방탄소년단 하루만. Just one day. Released in 2014.
근데 이제 사실 뭐 우리가 준비하면서도 이야기를 했지만 그 몇 년도 좀 그 전의 곡들은 사실 약간 영하다. 뭐 이런 이야기를 했었고.
So as we prepared, we were talking about this too. Songs from earlier years feel too young, and they are
거리가 좀 있어요.
a bit distant from our new album.
내가 또 너무 어린 향기가 나잖아.
아 이렇게
너무 어린 향기가 나잖아요. So literally translated, they smell too young, or they feel too young. The old songs.
된거 얘기합시다. 무슨 노래 부르는지.
오케이 그래.
Since we are here, let's just talk about it. Which songs we are going to perform? Jimin suggests.
조금만 얘기해줄게요. 저희
Jungkook says, okay, this is the only thing that we're going to tell you now. And then that slight pause, and then that expression is priceless.
된거 얘기합시다. 무슨 노래 부르는지.
오케이 그래. 조금만 얘기해줄게요. 저희
저희, meaning we, and then he paused, and then he looked at the other members.
너 멋대로 행동하지 마. 너.
형, 저 방금 내려앉았어.
그러니까 나 약간
생각보다 난 감이
등
없나
못
봐.
사겠거든.
Oh, and that scared Jimin and J-Hope slightly. Jimin just said that my heart sank. My heart dropped a bit because of Jungkook just now.
합시다. 무슨 노래 부르는지.
오케이 그럼 이것만 얘기해줄게요. 저희
His expression.
무슨 노래 부르는지.
오케이.
Because he was the one who suggested, since we're here, after all, let's just tell him which songs we're gonna perform. And then he almost thought that Jungkook was really giving it away.
이것만 얘기해줄게요. 저희
너 멋대로 행동하지 마. 너.
형, 저 방금 내려앉았어.
그러니까 나 약간
Yeah, my heart just sank.
난 담이 없나
등못
봐.
사겠거든.
아니 뭐 어때?
I'm actually more scared than I thought.
예?
저희
But RM says, so what? We can do it.
아니야.
저희
But
못
Ji-
사겠거든.
아니 뭐 어때? 할 수도 있지.
예?
yeah, Jimin says.
아니야.
Nope, we're not.
야.
We shouldn't.
저희 그거 갑니다.
시원하게 공개하겠습니다.
콘서트 우리 그거 하잖아.
We will reveal it, RM says. JK says, we do that song at concert. Which one? And then he does that face again.
그 알파벳 그
Alphabet.
근데 이게 확실히 이제 우리가 이렇게 슈시트 이렇게 생각하면서 예전 노래들을 쭉 다시 들어보니까
SUGA. But when we think about the set list and listen through old songs again,
이제 어린 티가 나는 말들은 진짜 참아 못하겠더라.
some of the lyrics feel too young to say now, to sing now.
근데 나는 아직까지 어려요.
But V goes, but I'm still young though.
아 솔직히 지금 상담도 할 수 있어?
네.
나
And J-Hope asks, can you really perform 상남자 right now? 상남자, what's the English title? 소년단 상남자. Boy in Love. Oh yes, Boy in Love. And when you Google Boy in Love, you see V and Jimin right away. And so that's J-Hope's challenge. Can you really perform Boy in Love right now?
아직.
나 왜 내 맘을 흔들어?
좀 힘들 것 같은데.
And RM says he can, V says he can.
솔직히 지금 상담도 할 수 있어?
네.
나 아직.
나 왜 내 맘을 흔들어?
좀 힘들 것 같은데.
I think SUGA here said that 내가 힘들 것 같은데. I think that might be hard for me.
그냥 재미로 하면
그냥
뭐 약간 커버한다고
아니
생각해.
사실 뭔가
내가
상남자 커버하는 거잖아.
2014년을 커버한다고 생각하고.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective. RM said that, yeah, we can do it. If we think of it as like we are doing a cover, we are doing a cover of BTS. Meanwhile, JK said that we can perform all songs, any song.
근데 나 진짜 그 어쨌든 우리가 군대 있었잖아. 그럼 군대 동기들이나 선임이나 다 있을 거 아니야. 그럼 그 친구들이 꼭 와 형 진짜 나 상남자 보고
맞아.
막 학교에서
아니,
댄스
나
댄스 따라하고 막 이랬다고.
훈련소에서
So J-Hope says that when I was in the military, there were peers and seniors, and they come up to me and say that, 형, I used to perform Boy in Love at school, or did that choreography at school.
우리 커버했다는
왜냐면 우리 상남자 할 때는 그 친구들이 어쨌든 중학생들이었으니까.
Because when we did Boy in Love, those guys were middle schoolers.
많이 따라했다고 그러더라고.
So they said that they copied it a lot, or they did choreography a lot.
식단하고만 했다고.
그 등골 브레이크 아니야?
등골 Breaker, the Spine Breaker, the legendary BTS song.
If I rule the world, if I rule the world.
와
나 등골 브레이커 자체를 까먹고 있었어. 내가 콘서트 문자로 나왔거든. 그런 노래가 있다는 것 자체를 모르고 있었어.
So Spine Breaker came up during Jin's concert, but then he forgot about the song, the fact that the song existed.
이런 거 있었죠. 21세기
맞네.
소녀.
힙합송에서 힙합송에서는
그건 2학년.
So 21세기 소녀. 방탄소년단 21세기 소녀. And then 힙합 소년단 21st Century Girl. 방탄소년단 힙합 성애자. Hip-hop lover. Trying to find the official translations. And which song did I mention after that? Chapter 2? Oh, second grade. Right? Let me erase these browsers. Hold up. 방탄소년단 2학년. Second grade.
2학년 좋았어. 아, 그 노래는 되게 그래도 되게 귀여워. 맞아.
That song though is a cute one.
빵이야 빵이야 뭐 이런 거 아니야 빵이야 빵이야.
그러니까 힙합송은 진짜 기억이 안 나.
힙합 소유자.
JK doesn't remember hip hop lover.
멜로디가 뭐냐?
What's the melody? Jin asks.
저 뭐지?
왜 거짓말했어?
Why are you lying? Jimin asks.
이거 남주가 썼을 텐데 아닌가?
Namjoon probably wrote this one.
그런 게 있었다고?
There was a song like that? JK asks.
그런 멜로디 있어.
아, 나 뒤에
And JK got tricked by V. There was a melody like that?
이거는 기억난다. 뒤에 멜로디가
야
뭐냐?
이런 것도 있어 위온 이런 것도 있어.
와 위원. 나 위원 좋아했어요.
We On from this album.
위원이 뭐냐?
이거 아니야. 뭐 이런 거 아니었나?
아닌 것 같은데.
I don't think that's the one. Jin is laughing.
아닌 것 같은데.
나 위원 좋아했었는데 뭐였지?
Jimin, I used to like We On though. What was that one?
투모로우도 있었네. 투모로우.
호로는
투모로우 많이 했잖아.
There's Tomorrow, but then they have performed Tomorrow often.
렛미노
스테이골드 아는 사람.
Stay Gold. Anybody knows that one?
저희 타이틀 중에 라이프 버전.
We have a title track called Life Goes On, RM says.
라이프 버전도 꼈어요.
Life Goes On도 껴주세요. Please pick Life Goes On as well, RM asks.
난내 버전 나고 더 익숙해가지고.
Suga says, I'm more familiar with my version. Yeah, he included Suga's version on his August D album, right?
라이프 버전은 노래 좋은 노래죠.
Life Goes On is a great song, J-Hope says.
확실히 코로나 때 나왔던 노래들이.
자, 첼라님께서 이불킥.
I think Suga says, 확실히, for real, songs that came out during COVID, I like them.
좋아요를.
확실히 코로나 때 나왔던 노래들이.
자, 첼라님께서 이불킥
I think he says that he likes them.
좋아요를.
이분이 무대도에서 춤췄어요.
되게 많이 했잖아.
이불킥. 방탄소년단 이불킥. Blanket kick. That's the official title? Wow. Okay. 이불킥 is an expression that you use. What happens if you have a regret and you think about, oh yeah, I want to kick myself. Yeah, so embarrassed. A specific, referring to a specific memory.
뭐 이런 거 있어. 맞아.
진짜 이제는 그 영상 보면 걷어 차고 싶겠다.
Jimin says, now, if we are watching our old videos performing that song, I would probably want to kick myself or literally kick the phone away
이분을 키가는 게 아니라 다른
나 바로 차고 싶어.
그 자신을 그냥 싹쓸이가 아니야.
because it's too embarrassed.
그리고 침대에서 뭐 하고 했잖아.
맞아.
나 보다가 갑자기 침대 꺼지고 그랬어.
맞아.
Did we also perform like while standing on beds? And Jin says that, and then the beds kind of fell apart,
맞아. 그래서 막 덜컥 내려앉아.
and the whole thing like sank.
그때 아마 여기서
좋아요.
Oh, that accident really happened? Okay.
좋아요.
그것도 시간이 진짜 많이 지난 게 그거를 페이스북 좋아요를 생각하면서 썼던 거였는데.
방탄소년단 좋아요. Like. Suga says that, when we first wrote the song, we were thinking about the like button on Facebook. But now, it will be more appropriate to think about it in terms of Instagram.
좋아요.
많이 지난 게 그거를 페이스북 좋아요를 생각하면서 썼던 거였는데.
인스타 좋아요.
그러니까.
와, 근데 좋아요는.
근데 지금도 페이스북은 있잖아요.
But doesn't Facebook still exist? J-Hope asks.
쓰는데 쓰는 사람
저 아직도
It still exists, but there aren't a lot of people using it. Meanwhile, Jimin
인스타그램
왜?
비번을 못 찾아가지고 3주째 로그인을 못
아
하고.
저기
I still cannot find my Instagram password and I cannot log in.
지민이가 인스타 비번을 잃어버렸대요.
야 근데 그러면 안 돼.
Yep.
잊어버렸대요.
And RM says it one more time. Jimin forgot his password.
이제 못 찾고 있어요 지금. 지금 계속 하고 있는데
I'm still looking for it.
지금
너 예전에
이메일도 2개가 지금 날아가지고.
너 예전에
이메일 2개가 날아가지고 2 email accounts are gone.
예전 핸드폰에
말해 봐봐.
네? 하고 있어요. 그 전 핸드폰에서도 로그아웃 돼가지고.
혹시 아시는
I got logged out of my old phone.
분들은 연락 주세요.
아예 쓸 수가 없어.
Did RM really ask the fans if anybody knows? Contact him or contact us? Is he asking like hackers or something?
여러분 제가 3일 안에 이제 마지막으로 부시키도록 하겠습니다.
돌림이 우리
3일 안으로
여러분 제가 3일 안에 이제 마지막으로 부시키도록 하겠습니다.
돌림이 우리 그거잖아.
3일 안으로 제가 다시 또 시키기로 하겠습니다. I'm gonna do it in like 3 days or something one more time. I'll try again in 3 days. Okay. I'll try again in 3 days probably.
그거 우리 그 일본 그 주제가 이거야 뭐.
맞아 OST.
OST.
Japanese official soundtrack. Don't leave me.
Miss Right.
Miss Right. Miss Right.
근데 옛날 노래들이 많이 나오네.
Love Me.
So there are a lot of old songs coming up in the chat room.
아,
너네 명곡이지.
이건가?
Love Mates is a classic.
명곡이죠.
아, 그 낙원인가?
Or is it a paradise?
나군 와.
로맨스 뭔 노래지?
그러면 이제
Who just said Love Mates 뭔 노래지? What song is Love Mates? Who was it? Who was it?
낙원인가?
I'm just joking, but I love Love Mates.
나군 와.
로맨스 뭔 노래지?
It was J-Hope. Love Mates 뭔 노래지? What song is Love Mates?
근데 노래들이 기억이 잘 안 나. 내 노래인데도.
Even though it is my own song, our own songs, I don't really remember some of them. Jin says.
세상 진짜 높다.
JK realizes, wow, Love Maze sounds really high in terms of pitch. Now that I realize, he says.
와 134 340.
And yeah, V feels the same.
134 340.
134340. That's another classic.
명화서.
And it's a song about Pluto.
와 매직샷.
Magic Shop.
많이 했지.
We have done that song a lot. Magic Shop.
매직샵 종구가 쓴거 아니야? 예.
Magic Shop is the one that Jungkook wrote, right? And Jungkook says, yeah.
오.
그것만, only that one.
와 이사가 있었네.
나 이사 새로 파란지만 생각나.
I think Jimin came back from the bathroom.
우리가 진짜 곡을 많이 썼고
노래 진짜
앨범
우리가 하나 거의 한 200곡 있지 않냐?
If you think about it, we have written a lot of songs. SUGA, yeah, probably we have written more than 200 songs.
방 병도 봤어 병.
병, disease.
Heartbeat?
Heartbeat, No More Dream, William.
맞아요?
Is this it? J-Hope says.
고민보다도 진짜 그
So, two scenarios. On the one hand, the chances are the set list for concerts are not confirmed yet. On the other hand, it might be possible that these songs that these guys find unfamiliar are not on the set list.
그 군대 선임이나
So that's me, guessing.
고민보다도 진짜
고민보다고.
그 군대 선임이나 후임들이 많이 들었대.
그러면은
That's also the song that J-Hope's seniors or colleagues, people in the military listen to a lot.
호비 형, 형이 이제 콘서트를 하면은 그래도 이 곡은 꼭 했으면 좋겠다라는 곡이 있어요. 이거는 얘기할 수 있잖아.
Jimin asked J-Hope, is there a song that you really want to do at concert? This we can talk about.
우리가 뭐 그게 없으니까. 아니 한 번만 얘기하자.
JK, let's just say one song.
이건 최고
Maybe your favorite song,
공연할 때.
나 솔직히 마이크
for a performance.
드럼 했으면 좋겠어요. 마이크
JK says, I personally want to do mic drop.
드럼은 단체로 다시 하면 감동이 있겠지.
마이크 할지. 저는 제일
Yeah, if we do it, it will be pretty powerful.
유명한 거 저희 노래 중에 제일 유명한 다이너마이트 했으면 좋겠어요.
And Jin says, for me though, I want to do one of the most popular songs, Dynamite.
누가 봐도 할 것 같지 않나?
Suga says, yeah, anybody can guess it.
저는 진짜로
딴 거 말하기 힘들어서 먼저 꺼냈어 그냥.
Jin goes, since it's hard to pick other songs, so I just went for it first.
저는 크리스탈 스노우 꼭 했으면 좋겠어요.
Alright, and for me, Crystal Snow.
스노우. 사실 저 최애곡은 에피판이긴 하거든요.
Jimin's favorite song is Epiphany, 최. Yeah.
진짜 내가 너무
근데
좋아해서.
나는
And Jin is laughing about it.
나는 이번 앨범 호비 형 미쳤어.
Okay, now we're on to the not really a different topic, but V says,
내가 너무
근데
좋아해서.
나는
but it was so funny when Jimin says, my favorite song is Epiphany, and then Jin is laughing.
진짜 내가 너무
근데
좋아해서.
나는 이번 앨범 호비 형 미쳤어.
V says, I personally believe that for this album, J-Hope was insane. Hobi Hyung was insane.
야 그래도 한 5분 만에 바뀌었다.
Jimin is laughing, JK is laughing, because the way V all of a sudden says that, like, super serious with a, serious face, looking directly in Hobi's eyes.
야 그래도 한 5분 만에 바뀌었다.
And Jin observes, hey, at least it changed within 5 minutes, the topic.
다행이다.
갑자기
근데 우리
That's a relief.
그 얘기 많이 했어. 이번에 호비 되게 미쳤다고.
But among ourselves, we did talk about this a lot. Jin says that Hobi this time was insane.
왜요? 그래요? 어우,
민주다.
Really?
이번 앨범.
Thank you very much.
난 이번 앨범은 태형이 미쳤어.
아 태양이
Jimin says, I think for this album, Taehyung was unbelievable. 미쳤어. Literally meaning insane.
미쳤어.
다들
So it's a praise, right? Compliment. 미쳤다. Incredible, phenomenal, unbelievable, those things.
너무 그래도 각자의 음악들을 하고 와서 그런지 그 내공이 좀 느껴지는 그런 부분들이었고 나는 가장 인상 깊었던 거는
Hobi said, I think because everybody came back after doing their own music, I could really feel the depth. And that's exactly how I feel and the reason why I'm so excited about this album. Again, each of these members is like a complete musician, yet they complete each other. So it's incredible. It's like a, yeah. Sorry, I'm like, I need to, can I take a couple minutes break? I need to take some sugar intake. Alright, I just had tangerines. I'm back. Alright, here we go.
남준이가 틱을 그렇게 수정을 하는 그런 부분들이었고 각자의 음악들을 하고 와서 그런지 그 내공이 좀 느껴지는 그런 부분들이었고 나는 가장 인상 깊었던 거는 남준이가 틱을 그렇게 수정을 하는
그러니까 야
나는
So J-Hope said, what impressed me the most was how Namjoon kept adjusting the tics. And SUGA immediately agrees. 그러니까, exactly.
이게 와 남준 진짜 예민하구나 싶었던 게
And I was like, wow, that's when I realized how sensitive Namjoon really is.
아니 그게 계속 바뀌었어.
And RM says, yeah, I'm pretty sensitive myself about it. And J-Hope says that it kept changing.
몇 틱만 밀어주세요.
몇 틱만 밀어주세요. Please adjust by a few ticks.
틱만 땡겨주세요.
Pull it back just a few ticks.
한두 틱만 밀어도 리듬이 아예 달라져.
그 프로듀서
And RM says even moving it 1 or 2 ticks completely changes the rhythm.
이제 틱과의 싸움이라고 해요.
And producers call it a battle with ticks.
틱틱틱이라는 장난식으로 틱틱틱이 되잖아.
제가 틱 수정을
So they made fun of him playing around by saying tick 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 like that.
한 트랙당 한 4-5번씩 해가지고.
그만큼
RM says that I think I adjusted ticks 4 or 5 times per track.
자기의 그런 게 생긴 거 각자가.
So that shows how strong our standards are. Everybody's standard is different. Now, a quick note about tick. When I first heard it, I thought it was talking about when it comes to recording softwares, not Logic. I just googled that because I use Logic Pro. It refers to the smallest unit of time measurement in digital audio workstation. I don't know which software they use. Industry standard is Pro Tools. I use Logic Pro, where a quarter note beat is divided into 960 ticks for extremely precise timing, allowing for detailed edits and synchronization. And when you record your vocals, timing and rhythm also matters. So I think what J-Hope and RM were just talking about was how precise RM was trying to be when he records his vocals. I think that's what they were talking about. For example, this is like a software that I use for recording. So there's bar, there's beat, there's div, and then there's tick. So small tick is the smallest unit. I don't know, maybe they were talking about something entirely different. That's what I think, since they are talking about recording. And RM says that the sound or the rhythm sounds completely different depending on so what was according to J-Hope, RM requested to producers or sound engineers please pull back by a few ticks, right, for example. So again, I think they were talking about how precise RM was rhythm wise. Okay.
자 그래서 그런지.
네, 너가 이번 너 혼자 녹음 안 해서 그래. 이제 디렉션이 좀 들어가 있어서.
And SUGA says, I think maybe it was because you weren't recording on your own because there was more direction involved.
너 혼자 녹음 안 해서 그래.
No, 혼자. So maybe it was because you weren't recording alone on your own
이제 디렉션이 좀 들어가 있어서.
because there was more direction involved. So if you record your own vocals, you are literally like using like computer at the same time while recording. So maybe you have more control or like over your own recordings. But if you are in a studio and there's a director or producer giving you direction outside the vocal booth, so they're the ones adjusting the console and computers and stuff. So that's why he was, I don't know, communicating with the producer about the rhythm, and it just feels different, right? Because BTS, these guys have talked about the fact that for this album, they have changed the way they recorded themselves and the whole work process. So maybe for RM, recording itself kind of felt new and refreshing.
그치 이번에.
이번에 녹음 방식을 좀 바꿨지 우리도. 네.
Okay, there we go. J-Hope says, yeah, we changed our recording process this time.
그
쉽지 않았지.
쉽지 않았지. It wasn't easy.
다 녹음을 프로듀서랑 같이 엔지니어랑 같이 했고.
We recorded everything together with the producer and engineer.
재밌었어?
It was fun.
너무 재밌었어.
It was really fun. Jimin asked.
많이 성장했어 덕분에.
편하던데?
재밌었어?
I felt comfortable.
너무 재밌었어.
나 편한데?
Yeah, Suga said I felt comfortable.
많이 성장했어 덕분에.
Thanks to that, I grew a lot, RM says.
더 해야죠 더.
언제까지
더 해야죠. We should keep going, Jimin says.
성장할 거야?
언제까지 성장할 거야? How long are we going to keep growing?
평생 하는 거죠.
맞긴
For life. 평생 하는 거죠. Jimin says, and immediately RM agrees. 맞긴 해. You're right.
멈추면 도태되는 거야.
If you stop, you fall behind, Jimin says.
도태되긴 싫긴 해.
I love this mini money interaction right now. 도태되면 싫긴 해. Falling behind, I hate that.
그냥 계속해서 해야지.
Yeah, that's why we gotta keep going.
주변 목걸이 찾았네.
이거
Jimin Young, you found your necklace.
차 맨날 놓고 다니는 거 그거 아니야?
진짜.
Isn't that the one you always leave in your car? Leave in the car?
오늘은 좀 데일리하게 꾸미고 싶었나 봐. 목걸이 뒤집어서.
맞아요.
Guess you wanted a more casual look today, given that the necklace is flipped.
그냥 오늘은 그냥 너 스타일링 그 자체인데. 그냥
Today is just your pure style.
박지민이잖아.
목걸이를 뺐다.
It's just pure Park Jimin. Jin says, you take your necklace on and off?
오늘 다 사복이야?
목걸이를 뺐다가 껴.
오.
아니 나
J-Hope asked everybody else, is everyone wearing like everyday clothes, meaning off-schedule outfits?
아니 저는 늘 차고 있는 거.
JK though, he's not. So this is his schedule outfits, seems like. 사복 아니에요. Or outfits given by like their Cody, the coordinator. Is that the right word in English? You know, the hair, makeup, stylist. Yeah, stylist, probably.
나 완전 사고.
RM making that dad joke. 사복 아니에요, JK said, right? I'm not in 사복, personal outfits or everyday clothes. But then RM says, 그럼 공복이야? Are you empty stomach then? So it's because he used that word because it sounds similar. 사복 and 공복.
그래. 나 오랜만에 이거 꾸계시는
SUGA?
나 완전 사고. 아니 저는 늘 차고 있는 거.
뭐 공복이야?
I think for SUGA,
오.
아니 나
아니 저는 늘 차고 있는.
I think stylist. So he got help from the stylist.
뭐 공복이야?
나 완전 사고.
Jimin though is his own outfits.
그래. 나 오랜만에 이거 꾸계시는.
나 일단 릭 바지가 없어.
So now they're talking about outfits all of a sudden. 릭 바지가 없어.
오랜만에 이거 꾸계시는.
나 일단 릭 바지가 없어. 이거 너무 커.
So he's saying that this pants too large for me. 릭 바지? Is he talking about Rick Owens pants? Interesting. Okay. Alright, so he doesn't have a pair like that, but this pair is too big.
자기 신발보다 큰 거.
까끌까끌할 것 같은데.
I think it's larger than my shoes, like the width. 까끌까끌한 것 같네. It feels it's kind of scratchy, RM says.
까끌까끌하고 못 입어.
요새 뭐 빠진 옷 스타일 있어요? 약간
Any clothing styles you guys are into these days? Okay, now we are officially on to the topic of outfits.
요새 어떤 추구미.
요즘 디올 스타일
Chugumi, any vibe that you are into lately?
뭐 이런 거 되게 좋아.
These days, I really like Dior style looks. Jimin says.
요즘
니네 엠베서더지.
Oh, I realize that you are an ambassador, RM says.
세깅만 하자 세깅.
These days, people are into sagging pants.
세깅
바지 내려.
형 이런 거 해요? 그거
안 하지.
근데 세깅이
Do you still do that, 형? RM asked SUGA. So sagging pants. Sagging pants. Yep.
나 중학교 때 하던 건데 돌아왔더라고.
나도
Yeah, I used to do it when I was in the middle school. When I was in middle school, but now it's back.
입기는 좀 힘들긴 해.
나도 세깅 나도
It's hard to wear though, J-Hope says.
옛날에 여기까지 했던 것 같아.
정국이가
I think I wore them this low too, RM says.
연습생 때 바지를 진짜 여기까지 내리고 다녔잖아 맨날.
Jungkook wore his pants super low as a trainee.
엉덩이 꼴 많이 봤지.
바지가 큰 거.
아니 어릴 때막 36, 38 이런 거 많이 입었어.
38 입었지.
38 입었지.
와나
When I was young, I used to wear sizes like 36 or 33. 36 or 38 when I was young.
또 갑자기 바지 얘기 나오니까 또 생각이 나네.
Now, we're hearing a special episode from Jimin involving Jimin and V. He says, wow, talking about pants suddenly reminds me of something.
연습생 때죠.
When I was a trainee, when we were trainees.
또 추억 파리.
누디진 이야기하러.
Don't start digging up old memories again. RM says.
32만 원짜리. 내 전세 다 긁어가지고.
My pants worth 320,000 won, which is all my money that I had.
그랬어 우리야.
I spent all my money on those pants because Taehyung said they look pretty.
공식적으로 얘기한 적 있냐? 공식적으로 얘기한 적 있냐?
우리 맨날 술
RM says, have you ever talked about this officially?
먹을 때만
있는 거 같긴 하고.
누디진 이야기해?
Jin says this is something that came up every time we had drinks, or often when we had drinks.
했던 거 같은데 방송에서.
Suga says, I think we have talked about it before on broadcast.
기억이 안 나네.
누디
I don't remember, Jimin says.
연습생 때 많이 입었지.
그 썰 진짜 레전드 썰이긴 해.
연습생 때 제가 이제 돈을 다 긁고
It's a legendary story that Jimin now is telling it.
가지고 태형이랑 같이 바지를 사러 갔어요 처음으로. 그게 그 저희 뮤직비디오 막 댄서
So, as a trainee, I scraped together all my money and went pants shopping with Taehyung. And it was when we were appearing as dancers in music videos.
나와가지고 벌었던 돈들이 있잖아요.
And that's how we, earned money.
권희 형 거 했을 때?
뭐 여러 가지 했을 때.
벌었던 돈들이 있잖아요.
권희 형 거 했을 때?
뭐 여러 가지 했을 때.
하고 이제
Yeah, when we were doing all sorts of things.
모아가지고 갔는데 이제 태형이가 와 너무 예쁘다 해서 샀어요 바지를. 좀 꽉 끼는데 좀 작지 않나 했는데 너무 예쁘다.
So I scraped my money and I saved up and went, and Taehyung said that, wow, they're so pretty. So I bought them. They were tight
집에 갔는데
and I wonder if they were too small.
형들이 샀어요 바지를. 좀 꽉 끼는데 좀 작지 않나 했는데
I wonder if they were too small, but then Taehyung was like, it's super pretty.
집에 갔는데 형들이
And we went back to our dorm, but then Hyungs said,
그걸 왜 샀냐고 막
why the hell did you buy them?
그 옆에 태형이 붙어서 내가 사지 말라 했잖아.
And Taehyung said, right next to me, immediately said, I told you not to buy them.
이미 택도 받대고 32만 원짜리.
But the tags were already off, and it was 320,000 won pants.
되게 단점이 부각되는 바지였어.
아니 나는
Jin says that those pants, and they really highlighted all 단점, like flaws or weaknesses.
바지의 진짜 그 색깔도 기억나.
I still remember the color.
모델 명칭 기억나. 모델이 피터 레플리카였어.
The model name was Peter Replica. Peter Replica. Pants. Oh, interesting. Nudie jeans. 무신사. Okay. Interesting.
근데 그게 잘안 누디진에서
그러니까
안 입는 아니에요.
우리 팬지
그
아니야.
당시에 유행했던 게 드라이.
So, nudie jeans. So that refers to like a type of jeans. But that one wasn't that trendy. The one that Jimin bought.
그거랑 그다음에 드블코라고 해서 그 까만 코팅이랑
까만 코팅.
그다음에 완전 생지.
나도 원래 그런 걸 사고
So trends back then were like dry denim, coated black jeans, and raw denim.
너 워싱이 된 걸 샀지.
But what you bought, those were washed.
드블코 나도 안 입었지.
네, 그거 일부러 세탁도 안 하고.
맞아.
그거 원래 그냥
냉동실에 넣어놓고.
맞아.
So these guys used to wear denim, not washing them often on purpose, and put them in freezer for some reason. to make it look nicer?
15년 정도 지나지 않나요?
V says that, hey, that was about 15 years ago.
저는 바지 하나 사줘. 나도 아니고.
그거 일부러 세탁도 안 하고.
맞아.
그거 원래 그냥
냉동실에 넣어놓고.
15년 정도 지나지 않나요?
야, 이 정도면 바지 하나 사줘라. 누디진 하나 사줘.
At this point, buy him some pants.
5년 정도 지난 얘기를 지금.
It was about 15 years ago.
재밌잖아.
아, 그치.
누디.
Funny though. That's so funny. Let's watch them interaction one more time.
누디 센지 아니야.
당시에
근데 그게 잘 안 누디진에서
그러니까
안 입는 아니야.
누디 센지 아니야.
당시에 유행했던 게 드라이 그거랑 그다음에 드블코라고 해서 그 까만 코팅이랑
까만 코팅.
그다음에 완전 생지.
나도 원래 그런 걸 사고 싶었어요.
너 워싱이 된 거야
내가
사실.
까만
비싼 거
코팅지.
샀어.
드블코.
So there was something else that Jimin wanted to buy.
나도 아니고.
그거 일부러 세탁도 안 하고.
맞아.
그거 원래 그냥
냉동실에 넣어놓고.
15년 정도 지나지 않나요?
야, 이 정도면 바지 하나 사줘라. 누디진
That's
하나
funny.
아니 15년 정도 지난 얘기를 지금.
아 근데 재밌잖아.
아, 그치.
It's hilarious though, he says.
누디가 약간 좀 다시 돌아온 느낌인가?
아니요.
누디진은
Yoongi says, is nudie jeans now back in trends? Nudie jeans. Uh-huh. Okay.
있긴 하나 요즘?
아니, 나 가끔
Do people wear it these days?
보이긴 하더라.
아 그래?
아무튼
I see them sometimes. Anyways,
뭐
그래서 요즘은 막 그런 바지 브랜드 이런 거 크게 신경 안
그쵸,
쓰잖아.
그쵸.
어릴 때
these days people don't care much about brands for pants, SUGA says.
이제 뭐다 무신사 입고 하니까.
알수 있나?
아무튼 뭐 태영이의 태세 전환이 거의 뭐 우디르였다.
그냥 그 옆에 서 있는 게 너무 웃겨.
Taehyung's sudden switch, 태세전환, was hilarious. I think here RM used the word 우디르. So 우디르. Isn't that a game character? Yeah, League of Legends. So it's a Korean slang expression that comes from League of Legends, like specifically the champion 우디르, who can rapidly switch between different animal stances, like each changing his combat style. And because this guy constantly shifts stances during gameplay, the term 우디르급 태세전환, like 우디르 level switch, is used metaphorically to describe a person who changes their position or attitude or opinion extremely quickly, often in an abrupt way. So he used that expression to refer to Taehyung.
아무튼 뭐 태영이의 태세 전환이 거의 뭐 우디르였다.
그냥 그 옆에 서 있는 게 너무 웃겼어.
And Jimin said that the fact he was standing, the way he was standing right next to me, or right next to Hyung's, was hilarious.
야 내가 그거 사지 말아.
Saying that I told you not to buy those.
박지 태영.
아니 근데
박주 Taehyung, Taehyung the bat.
그게 약간 좀 워싱 들어간 거였잖아.
맞아, 멋이 많이 들어.
색깔이 달라.
그때 저번분이 엄청
So those pants were washed.
추천했다고 했었어 지민이.
근데 그 뉴지진에서
They said that Jim remembers. Jimin said that the person working at the shop was strongly recommending those pants to Jimin.
그게 제일 안 팔려가지고 그걸 적극
그래서 태영이도 옆에서 내 기억.
And SUGA theorizes that was probably because they weren't selling. That those pants were probably the least popular. That's why they were recommending it strongly.
기억상 태영이도 옆에서 지민아 너 한번 입어봐. 되게 잘 어울리는데. 야 멋있다 이러고 집에 와서.
And Taehyung said that, hey, try these on. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. So, Taehyung encouraged him. But then once they were back to the dorm,
내가 그거 사지 말라 했잖아.
I told you not to buy those.
그러니까 지민이가 화가 난 거지.
That's why Jimin was angry.
됐어요. 서운했죠 그냥.
I wasn't angry. I was just a bit hurt.
그런 시절이 있었다.
That was a time.
15년 전에 얘기 하나 더 해도 돼?
Can I tell one more story from 15 years ago?
한번 해봐.
Try it.
너무 파괴하지 마.
아니 너
너무 파묘하지 마. So 파묘, that's also a new, not new, but 파묘, digging up the grave. So it's actually a movie title, HYBE. But nowadays we say that to like dig up like old memories, like stories or memories or histories. Sometimes if you dig up like information to find someone's flaws, you use that word, 파묘. Anyways, so J-Hope says that don't dig up old memories too much.
아니 근데 뭐
아니 너 첫째로 킥 드럼 그 안무 창작할 때.
하지 마.
아니 너
그거 아니 근데 뭐
RM says, I'm curious.
아니 너 첫째로 킥 드럼 그 안무 창작할 때.
When we created choreography for kick drum,
회사에서 잘릴 뻔한 적이 있습니다.
I almost got fired from by the company while making choreography.
아 그래.
And now he's looking at JK.
거기다가 이제 안무를 짜오라고 했는데 태영이가
So they told us to create choreography,
밤마다 새벽마다 이제 도와줬죠.
and Taehyung help us at night.
내가 찍는 나도 저게 무슨 안무지?
And while I was filming, I was wondering what kind of choreography that is.
자이언티.
아니 지민이는 그걸 공책에
그리면서 했잖아.
그려놓은 게 웃겼지.
Jimin drew it out visually on like a notebook.
제가
지민 진짜 열심히 했어 그래도.
He worked really hard.
궁금한 했어요.
I'm curious.
혹시 다들 군대에서 일기 썼어요?
The next topic is writing diaries in the military. So V asks, did you guys all write diaries in the military, like journals?
썼지?
소나기?
썼지? 아니 소나기 말고
소나기 말고.
그냥
소나기. 군대 소나기. So, there you go. That's a journal that you can write in while serving the military. But RM says that, no, not that one.
일기 썼어요?
썼지?
아니 소나기?
썼지? 아니 소나기 말고
소나기 말고.
그냥
난 소나기만 썼어. 소나기만.
I only wrote on 소나기, J-Hope says.
나 2주 정도 쓰다 말았어.
Jin, I wrote for 2 weeks and then I was done.
참고로 소나기는 소중한 나의 병영일기의 줄임말이야.
For reference, 소나기 stands for 소중한 나의 병영일기. Precious my military diary. Wow. Yeah.
그게 소나기를 안 쓸 수가 없어.
Jimin starts laughing.
이게 항상 알지.
Why is J-Hope standing up? He says that, see, we cannot not write in that diary because
훈련병은 소나기 쓰는 시간이 있어.
trainees have time to write it.
점호를 끝나면은 그러니까 훈련병 때.
After a roll call, during the training era. So we're talking about the military, okay?
점호 끝나면 항상 쓰게 했잖아요.
So after a roll call, they told us to write.
그랬나? 너 한 걸 안 했어.
아 그래?
우리는
하나 그랬어.
우리 점호하기 전에 나
그냥
쓰고 그러니까 쓰라고 하자.
나는 우리 공식
So I think each of them, they had a different situation. For RM, it was before a roll call, and it wasn't mandatory.
공책은 줬는데 그걸 쓰라고 하진 않았지. 너
나도
SUGA said they gave us diaries, but they never told us to write. Because SUGA also did that basic training, right?
소나기 재밌었지.
근데 이막
Sonagi was fun. Writing the diary was fun.
일기를 검사하고 막 이러진 않잖아.
그렇지 검사하면 큰일 나지.
But they never check on those journals, right? Jimin asked, yeah, there will be, that's not supposed to happen because it's privacy,
그거 사생활인데.
검사 안 하고
because it's personal information.
소나기라고 책이 있어. 그 일기장 책을 줘.
보호배 주기는
So there's a book called Sonagi, and they give it to you as a diary,
하는데 그게 쓰라고 하진 않아.
as part of a supplies.
안 썼어요.
Jimin says, Jungkook, he never wrote it.
굳이 그냥
He was just spinning it using his finger.
야책 돌릴 수도 없는 크기인데 그거.
안 썼어요.
굳이 그냥
He was just spin.
책 돌릴 수도 없는 크기인데 그거.
우리도 안
Jungkook never wrote it in his journal and just use it to spin around.
써도 된다고 얘기를 했었어. 쓰고 싶은 사람 쓰고 안 써도 된다. 근데 기념할 만한 일이니까 적어둬라라고 얘기했어.
Yeah, Jin said, if you want to write it, you can. You don't have to, but can keep it as, like a part of a memory or to something to celebrate later.
아무튼 뭐 저희가 뭐
단결.
그래요. 만나면
We are like this.
이런 얘기만 해요.
그거 다 알아요.
When we meet, we always talk about the military. And Jimin says, and they all know. Armies all know.
군대 얘기 멈추래.
18년을
군대 얘기 멈추래.
아시죠?
군대 이야기 멈추래.
그래 멈출만 해. 근데
SUGA says, they're telling us to stop talking about military.
6개월 지났으면 멈출만 해.
아 근데
Since it's been 6 months, I think we can stop talking about it, J-Hope says.
네.
재밌긴 해. 그치?
재밌긴 해. It's fun though.
아니 아직도 지금 나 어제 후임들 만났거든. 동기.
It's still fun. I actually met my, military colleagues yesterday. My juniors from the military yesterday.
오케이.
아 근데 나도 거기 나도
For real?
보기로 하긴 했어.
후임들 만났거든. 동기들.
And 동기들, so colleagues from the military.
아 근데 나도 거기 나도 보기로 하긴
So for the first time since the military discharge.
걔를 봤어.
그렇죠.
시간이 안
그러니까
돼가지고.
웃기더라고. 아.
나 최근에
And it was hilarious.
보고 왔어.
JK also met up recently.
나 박통문 전화했다.
박동문 전화했다. I recently called that specific person from the military probably.
군대 이야기 그만해. 군대 이야기 그만해.
SUGA, once again, hey, they're telling us not to talk about the military.
자 오케이.
Probably someone in the chat room.
그러면은.
And then, moment of silence. 그러면은, okay, then,
원래
what should he do?
원래 무슨 얘기 되냐?
What should he talk about?
태형이 솔로 콘서트 해달라는데.
They are asking for Taehyung's solo concert.
야, 좋다.
이거 안
Solo 해야지. Yeah, we should do solo. JK says.
이제 해야지.
Yep, it's time. It's about time. SUGA says.
해야지.
근데 언제 할 수 있을지 잘 모르겠어. 나 너무
But we don't know when we'll be able to.
할수 있는데.
Oof, Jungkook says that I really wanted to do it. 너무 하고 싶었는데. I really wanted to solo concert.
네.
일단은 시기가
다 하고 싶지. We all want to do it.
뭐 맞는 게 없어.
뭐 하면
근데 제게 게스트?
Now Jungkook is wondering about the timing, when he will be able to do it. And J-Hope says that if you're doing it, should I appear as a guest performer?
와야지.
YG, you should come.
너 포즈기 해야 되나?
And then he's pointing to Jin.
아, 가야 돼. 오케이.
Should I?
가야죠.
가야지. I should go.
형형
You should do a super tune-up for me.
해줘야죠.
오케이.
And then V is asking Jin as well.
스탠딩 데스 커버해야겠다. 되겠다.
I should do a cover of Standing Next to You, J-Hope says.
너무 좋지.
That would be so good.
거기 앞 구석 그
그래
1년
나는 틀리니까 나는 여러분의 하나에
앞 구석 그
그래
1년
나는 틀리니까 나는
Jin is asking V to give him a front row seat if he were to do a solo concert.
여러분의 하나에
And meanwhile, JK is singing Killing a Girl.
그래서 벗어 허리와
아이씨 더워.
깜짝 놀랐잖아요. 옷 벗어가지고. 아니
I was so surprised because you took your shirt off, Jimin said.
가는
맞아. 아 그때 운동 되게 열심히 했어 저기.
Hoseok worked out a lot at the time.
그냥 호소이가 와서 볶음만 하고 그냥 가더라고.
Hoseok only did abs and left. And they talked about this before, right? During the live stream.
대형이가 운동하러 와요.
So Hoseok comes to gym to work out.
갑자기 유튜브를 틀고 20분 뭐 즉각 복근 루틴 이걸 한 20분을 하고 갑자기 가.
He turns on YouTube, does a 20-minute routine, and then leaves.
다음 거?
고생해라. 이러면서.
And RM is like, "Are you done?"
근데 요새도 그 나랑 호비랑 그 3일 전인가 같이 운동을 한번 했다.
And nowadays, in fact, 3 days ago, Hobi and I did a workout together.
네, 나는 그냥 그 건강해지기 위해 항상 전신으로 돌리거든.
And I always do full body workouts for my health.
근데 그 호비가 다른 건 다 같이 하다가 저 복근은 제가 하는 루틴이 있어요. 그래서 그건
And for everything else, he was doing it with me. But for abs, he was like, "For abs, I have my own routine."
빠지더라고.
선을 긋는.
And then he drew a line. He drew a boundary.
거기서 선을 긋더라고.
나도 여기도 링크 좀 보내줘.
아 근데 이제
So he did his abs routine separately.
그 코어랑 막 다 같이 있어가지고.
내가 형이랑 해봤거든요. 힘들던데.
I was doing it with J-Hope, and it was super hard.
그래?
그래서 건강 가잖아.
확실히 복근만 단련한 사람은 다르더라고.
So Jimin is basically calling J-Hope an abs master.
복근장이냐?
복장이었어요.
복장이야.
완전히 복장해.
목이 말라. 목이 말라야.
진짜 복근은 잘 안 하게 되는데.
복장이 중요해.
Was it SUGA?
완전히 복장해.
목이 말라. 목이 말라야.
진짜 복근은 잘 안 하게 되는데.
Okay, it's not easy. So for SUGA, he doesn't do abs often.
복장이 중요해요.
but are super important.
그래도 호비 뭐 건강 주스 이런 거 먹잖아.
Hobi always drinks like detox juice.
호비는 여러분 점심을 안 먹어요.
He skips lunch
여러 약재가 들어간 그 디톡스 주스만 딱 먹고 끝나요.
and only drinks detox juice mixed with different herbs, and then that's it.
좀 약간 특별한 날.
Today was a bit special.
오늘은 너무 맛있었으니까.
It was super good. And yes, it was part of that spoiler, right? They probably did some sort of commercial shooting for some sort of food, and it was super good. I don't know, maybe it was something entirely different. Who knows? But it was good.
네.
아무튼
Anyway,
네, 너무 즐거웠고요.
it was fun.
다음에 또 볼까요, 여러분?
And see you next time.
다음 주제 뭐예요?
What's the next?
다시 볼래? 다음에 또 볼까요, 여러분?
다음 주제 뭐예요?
So Jaeho was drinking this.
다시 볼래?
He thought it was 보리차, but it didn't taste the way he thought it was supposed to be.
옥수수 새우차인 줄 알았는데.
아니 그거네.
뭔데? 깜짝 놀랐어.
이거 그거네.
뭔데?
So it was startled by the taste.
어.
It was a peach, sweet
자, 우리
peach tea.
뭐할 거 있을까요? 얘기할 거?
잠깐만요.
뭐 여튼 열심히
Anything else we can talk about?
준비하고 있고 다들 연말 연시도
해피
바쁘거나.
할리데이.
So we're working hard on preparations and happy holidays.
그러니까
이제 이게 근데 팬분들이 이게 언제까지 준비만 해 이럴 수도 있는데 맞아요. 저도 그렇게 생각해요.
For fans, they might be thinking that how long are you continuing to going to prepare? And yes, I think the same.
아니 근데 사실 이런 과정이 있어야지 꼭 나오는 거고.
진짜 근데 완벽한 거 보여주고 싶긴 해요.
So these processes are necessary.
진짜 앨범은 너무
나오는 거고.
진짜 근데 완벽한 거 보여주고 싶긴 해요.
Jimin says, we really want to show you something perfect, 완벽한 걸.
진짜 앨범은 너무
마음에 드세요?
마음에 들어.
Oof. RM says something like, albums, that's really, and then Jimin asks, do you like it? 너무 마음에 들어요. I really love the album.
앨범?
저요?
네.
He asked V2.
뭐 계속
이틀 전에도
저 계속 춤추잖아요.
And I've been doing choreography, continuing to do choreography.
돌리는데 좋더라.
난 진짜 마음에 들어.
저도
So SUGA said 돌렸는데 좋더라, meaning he listened to the album from front to back, the whole thing, and he says he also liked it, loved it.
저도 앨범 좋긴 해요.
And Jimin agrees. 저도 좋긴 해요. I loved the album too.
되게
이번에 뭔가
And these guys are all nodding.
정말 진짜
되게 좋은 것
뭔가
같아요.
제 2가 느껴지는.
Ooh, J-Hope said that this one honestly feels really, really has like that chapter 2 vibe.
빡 챕터 2 방탄 챕터 2를 하기에 너무 좋은 앨범인 것 같아서 챕터 2
진짜
되게 좋은
뭔가
것 같아요.
제 2가 느껴지는.
장단이 빡 있는.
챕터 2
So it really has that strong rhythm where you can feel chapter 2.
챕터 2를
SUGA says.
하기에 너무 좋은 앨범인 것 같아서
And Jimin agrees like it's the perfect album to begin BTS Chapter 2.
야 근데 진짜 앨범도 우리 얼마 만에 나온 거야?
But seriously, how long has it been since we last released an album?
정규는 뭐
근데 이제 약간
Like 5 years
프루프 앨범.
in terms of a studio album?
약간 그런 건 있어요.
Since Proof?
이제
But there is something like this, V says.
저희가 계속 기다려달라고 했잖아요.
We kept asking our fans to wait and wait.
뭔가 계속 저희 컴백 때. 근데 이제 너무 늦어지니까
But since now it's been too late,
이제는
getting too late,
기다리지 마시고
and now maybe we should tell them to just not wait
그냥 잠시 저희가 사라졌다가 컴백
and we disappear for some time. What?
때짠 나타나면은
Wait, what?
뭔가 계속 저희 컴백 때 저희가 계속 기다려달라고 했잖아요.
We kept asking our fans to wait and wait
컴백 때. 근데 이제 너무 늦어지니까
every time around comeback season, but since it's taken so long now,
이제는 기다리지 마시고
instead of waiting,
그냥 잠시 저희가 사라졌다가
let us just
때 짠 나타나면은
disappear for a bit and then suddenly show up at comeback.
진짜 한 20배 더 멋있을 것 같아요.
I think we will look like 20 times cooler.
어떻게 사라질까?
How do RM ask, okay, how are we supposed to disappear?
내가 사라져 볼게. 하나 둘 셋. 너 가. 너 저로 가 있어.
근데 뭔가
J-Hope
뭔가 그래.
says, okay, let's disappear. And then he does a finger snap. Okay, now go away, disappear. Playfully.
그치. 아 근데 그치. 맞는 것 같아.
In RM. Okay. Hey, you're right. I think you're right.
맞아 그래 보고 싶습니다. 답답해.
아 그래도 뭐 짤짤이
We miss you, Jimin says.
일하는 것들이 조금씩 나오고 있으니까.
네네네.
And Jin says, but you know, these contents that we have been making, they're getting released one by one.
그걸로나마 좀 더 열심히. 그래도 뭐 짤짤이 일하는 것들이 조금씩 나오고 있으니까.
네네네.
그걸로나마 좀 더 열심히.
Yep.
태영이가 되게 열심히 일하고 있더라고.
Taehyung has been working super hard
요새.
lately,
근데
너무
형도
많이 하잖아요.
but not as. So Jimin is saying that Jin has been working super hard.
나는 이제 좀 줄었고
For me, my workload has gotten less.
태영이 일단 너무 힘들어가지고 제가 좀 이렇게 줄였어요.
전 사실
너무 많아가지고.
So because I felt too tired, so I reduced mine a bit now.
근데 태영이가 그걸 그대로 하고 있더라고.
근데 여러분
But now Taehyung is going with all of it. So Taehyung is working hard, just as I was working hard. He didn't say a few months ago, but the way he was working hard.
여러분들이 좋아하실 만하게 제가 열심히 일하고 있습니다.
아뭐 우리는 고맙지.
여러분들이 좋아하실 만하게. So I will keep working hard to satisfy you guys, so you guys would be happy. And RM said, "We're grateful."
태영 씨 저도 내일
고생해.
파이팅.
뭐 어차피
내일 근데 와주신다고 하셨잖아요.
Jimin has a schedule tomorrow, and they were having a handshake. And Jimin asked V to, not V, but not ask, but you told me that you will come, right? But his response,
당황했다.
아 온다며요.
he was startled.
말 안 하죠?
제가
But his reaction, he never said yes.
인증해.
아 오시면 무조건 인정하겠습니다.
So JK suggests that they should take photos to prove that he came.
이거 꼭 간다
아니
했지.
찍고만 가셔도 돼요.
You can simply come and then take a photo and leave.
여러분들이 원하신다면 더 일하겠습니다.
And all of a sudden V says that if you guys want, I will keep working harder.
아니 그거 말고 내일 오시죠.
No, not that.
한 번도 원한 적은 없어요.
We've never asked for that even once, JK says.
저 서울 아니에요.
본인이 하고 싶은 거 다.
Wait, that's not Seoul?
근데 그것도 맞아요.
So J-Hope is asking Jimin about his schedule for tomorrow, whatever that is.
그것도 맞긴 하지.
재밌어.
저는
It's fun.
한 번도 원한 적은 없어요.
너 근데 그 서울 아니잖아. 서울 아니세요?
저 서울 아니에요.
본인이 하고 싶은 거 다.
Seoul. Either Seoul or Seoul. I think they're talking about Seoul, but Jimin has not done something Seoul related.
근데 그것도 맞아요.
그것도 맞긴 하지.
재밌어.
It's super fun.
잘 맞으면 좋은 거죠.
저는 1년
If it's fun, then that's great.
전에 일을 되게 열심히 했었는데
And yes, V has been active with like commercials, magazine shoots, and stuff, right? And Jin said, until a year ago, I worked extremely hard. About a year ago,
그렇게 하니까 진짜 너무 힘들더라고요.
고생했어요.
그래서 좀
and it got really exhausting, so I cut back a bit.
줄였어요. 저는.
형, 저 무리하면 안 돼요. 저 이제 한 나가요. 어디 도관에 이러면 나가요.
JK, 형, you shouldn't overdo it. If you overwork, then your knees or your joints will be worn out.
형 내년
왜 내 대화 주제는 다 어디 나가고 이런 걸로 가는 거야?
형이 내년
Why do all my conversation topics end up being about like my body parts being worn out?
80인가?
Is Jin Hyung turning 80 next year?
90,
90,
100.
100.
똑같이 이러고 있을 것 같다는 생각이 든다.
SUGA, but honestly, I think we'll still be like this at that age. 80, 90, 100 probably is referred to. And he talked about this like that beforehand in the past too.
근데 나이 먹고
너몇 살이더라? 이번에
How old are you?
이거 마음에 들어 안 들어? 몇 살이더라? 이번에 이거 마음에 들어 안 들어?
So Jimin was asking a question. This album, do you like it or not in a grandpa way?
한 명은 또잘
And then another person would be like, he would have a hearing impairments. What did you say?
아니야 그 정도 아니야. 요즘 70, 80대 그 정도 아니야.
No, nowadays it's not like that even if you're in 70s or 80s, SUGA says.
형 이제 뭐 150이잖아.
저희 외할머니는
You're turning 150 now.
지금 90이신데
Jimin says my grandma is 92.
아직
그래.
She's still very healthy.
마신 거 많이 드시고 계시죠?
So his maternal grandma is 92. She's still very healthy. She eats lots of good food.
그 있잖아 그
화만 좀 많아지셔 그렇지.
She just gets angry more easily.
그 개그맨 그분들 뭐지?
You know those comedians?
조박스?
김원희 씨가 그
김원희 씨?
그 먹방 하는 거 있거든.
그래?
그거 한 딱 이런 느낌이야.
뭐라고?
So he's talking about like mukbangs. So comedians acting as elderly characters and do mukbang contents with old age filters on. So that's exactly the vibe. I think he's referring to, these contents. So red.
필터 씌워가지고 할아버지 필터 씌워가지고 먹방 하시는 게 있는데.
뭐라고?
Yeah, they eat while using grandpa filters.
겁나 웃겨.
It's super hilarious.
자 하면서 아무튼
자 아무튼
Anyway,
여러분 즐거운 연말 되시고요.
have a great year end.
즐거운 연말.
네, 뭐 많이 이야기했다.
We talked a lot.
즐거운 연말 되시고
Jimin made an observation. So he was just looking at the staff members.
하면서 아무튼
자 아무튼 여러분 즐거운 연말 되시고요.
즐거운 연말.
네, 뭐 많이 이야기했다.
And the staff members were all exhausted.
즐거운 연말 되시고요. 저희는 방탄소년단으로 돌아오도록 하겠습니다.
So have a wonderful year end and we'll return as BTS.
Please.
Please.
나는 콘서트 때 마이크
메리 크리스마스.
JK says, I would love to perform mic drop at concerts.
좋습니다.
Please.
아무튼 나는 콘서트 때 마이크
메리 크리스마스.
Merry Christmas, said V.
남진 둘셋 한번 해주세요.
둘 셋.
메리 크리스마스.
아 잠깐 뭔가
아이고
맞추자.
맞추자.
뭐 어떻게 마지막 인사를 어떻게
원래
할까요?
둘셋 감사합니다 아니었어?
So they're gonna coordinate.
감사합니다.
둘 셋.
감사합니다.
안녕.
바이바이.
Thank you.
저희 손으로 꺼야지 뭐 있어.
연말 행복하게 보내시길.
메리 크리. 해피 홀리데이.
해피 홀리데이.
Happy holiday.
메리.
What just happened?
해피 홀리데이. 재밌게 보내세요.
메리.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Man, how long is this video? Yeah, the next time these guys do a OT7 live again, I should like cut back my own thoughts a little bit. I don't know. I was just being like casual and, you know, I enjoy translating. I enjoy listening to these guys talk and then talk about it while you guys listen. But how long is this video? Probably like, yeah, I don't even know. They talked a lot about different stuff, but since I translated enough and reacted enough and talked enough, I'm gonna turn this off right now. But one thing I'm gonna say again, just like I said in the beginning, all these conversations online will get louder and louder from here on. And let's just enjoy them. You know why? Because it just proves that we are so back. You know what I'm saying? So good. What else? Anything else I really want to say? Yeah, as long as the fans and the artists stay healthy physically and mentally and enjoy ourselves over a long term, that's all that matters. And these guys are super satisfied by the album, and the new content is gonna come up pretty soon. I have a feeling that something's gonna be released by the end of this year, whether it's, you know, some sort of content or some sort of announcements. But we'll see. Anything can happen. All right? Have a wonderful one. I hope this was informative and helpful for you guys, and I hope you had fun. If there's anything I was wrong about, anything that I missed, feel free to comment in the comment section. And as always, when we do so, let's stay positive, respectful, and classy. Thank you guys. Peace and love. Bye-bye.